If Love and Gogi is wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not right.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
I don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit her with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay. Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still in the sauce with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him. And if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like under the city, the driver's side fly. Gucci a large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever and cute as can be. You can watch us on YouTube, but view for free. Hey, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Hello, Leroy.
Hello, Tobin.
How are you this morning?
I'm all right.
Froggy, how are you?
I could have done without that hockey game last night.
Oh, yeah. I know your favorite, the old shorthanded goal.
Oh, you know I lost my mind, right? Wait, here's what's crazy, Marcos. I'm watching the TV, and they score. And it's shorty, so I'm already, on high alert. And I'm thinking to myself, they're shorthanded. How do they get a 2-on-1?
Turnover. Happens.
I'm just saying, you got more guys. And they end up with a 2-on-1 with 3 people on the ice. How is that possible?
Very annoying. Cats lose last night 5-3. Vinny Trocheck with the breaker there in the third period. Shorthanded 4-3 for the Rangers. Panthers lose. We'll get more into it later on. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia models in inventory at the Sportage, Sorrento, and Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia. We will, of course, start today with the news of the day, which is the Dolphins and Jalen Ramsey. Slick Rick.
Whoa, we owe him an apology.
I don't know him an apology.
You don't.
I don't know him an apology. I
Slick
told you. I
Rick.
believe Slick Rick.
I will never doubt you again.
His name is Slick Rick. Like,
Yeah.
you get what you get.
Slick
You're-
Rick.
you're-
Slick Rick scoops.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, right.
That's
Slick.
good.
I would say this.
Why am I
that
excited about this?
Because
Here's the problem.
you like him, you like Drew.
So the,
Star.
The problem with all this is
Let me just give the news to everybody.
Okay.
The Dolphins and cornerback Jalen Ramsey. This was re-reported today by the NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. The Dolphins and cornerback Jalen Ramsey are mutually set to explore trade options, and it wouldn't be a surprise if he played elsewhere this upcoming season, according to NFL Network insiders Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero.
so everybody's looking at the wrong thing here. The Dolphins are in a position where they've paid 2 guys a lot of money. And if you want to get rid of them, you're getting pennies on the dollar. Because they're both older. One comes with baggage, and one is over 30.
They're both over 30. I mean,
They're both over
They're
30.
both over 30.
But Jalen
Jalen Ramsey probably got like 4 years left in him, right? Like,
Right.
I don't, like, you know,
Right.
I don't think,
Tyreek, you don't know how many years you got because you got the other stuff.
yeah, you never know how he's going to behave.
Right. So
he's,
so everybody, if you're bargaining or you're trying to trade for any one of those 2 guys, you actually are in the driver's seat because of said reasons. Not to mention the contracts that you have to absorb. And so I think the Dolphins are in a bad spot in that, what do? You're not going to really get anything for them of substance. Could you just go ahead on and get rid of him and have the money, right? have the money to be able to do other things.
You're not really going to have the money this year, though. You're gonna get hit with cap hits for the
Right.
Dolphins. But the thing with Ramsey, this is what it says. Ramsey's currently due $25.1 million, fully guaranteed in 2025. He's already gotten his roster bonus, so the new team would pick up $21.1 million this year to pay him. He doesn't have any guaranteed money after this year. He just got the new deal last year, which was a 3-year extension, which kind of makes you feel like he probably went back to him again and being like, more guaranteed money for next year.
That's quick.
It's Jalen Ramsey.
Okay.
Do you not recall this is the man at 23 years old showed up in the Brinks truck?
Yeah.
Which, like, and to what I would say is the Dolphins probably like, hey, dude, paid you last year, and we don't know what flux we are this season. He goes, oh, you guys don't believe in yourselves? Not a contender? Send me to one who will pay me and have another year guaranteed for me next year.
Here's the problem. Of all the teams that are contenders, who needs a corner?
Oh, I don't know. And I don't even necessarily think that he wants to go to a contender. Like, I think it's probably a money thing. It always is with Jalen Ramsey, which I'm not hating. That's what happens when you get Jalen Ramsey.
I clearly wish I had been more like that when I played. Right? When I played, I thought, and I just had in my mind at the time that success to me was playing with your same team with different regimes and different coaches and still being a staple of that team. And then for reasons I can't explain, they said, you make too much, we're going to get rid of you. And I'm like, if I'd have known this the way it was 2 years ago, I wouldn't have never showed any loyalty towards you.
Right.
And so, whereas I understand why players do this, and I'm not necessarily upset with them, I will say this, is that I think the league itself has built this based on the fact that what do we get excited for when the season's over with? Who's going to get cut? Who's going to be a June 1st cut? Who's going to give money back? It's not ever, hey, we got this guy in the contract for 2 more years. Like basketball is a totally different thing. I know it's guaranteed, but you don't think like this. And so now the other side is thinking the same way. And I think there's some that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, not everybody does. I mean, there are guys who think that, but I know Jalen Ramsey don't. And I'm not and I'm not hating on him.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all.
But I think Jalen Ramsey's like, oh, it's not my fault. You guys aren't contending.
Right.
Like you guys are in a spot where you feel like you're in flux because this deal didn't work, and that's where the Dolphins are at right now. Like, look, the Dolphins went to the table. They rolled the dice. They tried vet moves. They've tried Tyreek Hill. Their best chance was 2 years ago. Didn't work out. And now the Dolphins are at a pivot point right now.
My problem with all of this, right? Have you ever met an organization that ended up having success that built their team from the outside in?
I mean,
let's think about it. Okay, look at the Eagles. The last piece they added was Saquon Barkley.
Probably the last team I can think of is the Rams.
Okay.
The Rams did.
Yeah, but they also, look what they had up front.
They had
a Hall of Fame left tackle.
Maybe the greatest defender.
And they had Aaron. Yeah.
But they had Ramsey, Odell, and Matt Stafford were all not their guys.
Yeah, but look at who they had. Didn't they have Whitworth? Was Whitworth there?
Whitworth was there.
Right.
Whitworth's always there.
They had an offensive line that was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
They had a defensive line. Unbelievable. I'm saying. So then you could go do that. Right? When you look at Philadelphia, we talk about all the other parts, but the most important thing is the offensive defensive line. When you look at Detroit, what is the first thing Man Campbell said when he went there? We're going to be tougher. We're going to be physical up front. And they built from that way out.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only team that I know that built from outside in the end was average at best.
And the ends that were good, they said, hey, see ya, go to Vegas.
Right. So if you've watched enough football and you watch a championship or when it gets towards the end, they don't talk about wide receivers and running backs as much as they talk about those guys playing behind offense and defensive lines.
Mm-hmm.
So why does this team think that they can do it any different than all the other franchises that have won?
I think that there was probably a world a couple of years ago that they could have if all things would have broke their way, but they didn't.
Nope. Listen. Nope. Every team
I think they could have. Like Leroy, look, we talked about it in the aftermath when they had that game in Kansas City where it was freezing.
Yeah,
that team literally was signing like pass rushers off the street. Like
no, I know
that team fell apart at the end. That was their chance, and everybody just kind of went into this past year. And look, to Stephen Ross's, detriment is he did take care of all his guys, and none of them have worked out for him. Not the Tua contract, not the Tyreek contract, not the Jalen Ramsey contract.
I'm not going to.
They haven't worked out.
But I'm not going to say the Tua contract.
Well, like, he missed 6 games last year.
I know
that was literally the number one fear about not paying him.
But it's his situation is not like the other guys.
They're not. But at what point when things don't work out, do people talk about the situation? Like you knew. We all acknowledge Tua is a good player, but he has one flaw, and that is his health.
Yep.
He is not available, and that really bit them in the ass last year. And so for the people who were skeptical about him and said, hey, have him play out the 5th year, if he was playing off of his 5th year last year, yeah, you're not maybe paying him $55 million. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. I don't know, but probably not. So none of the bets they made on their established guys worked out for them. Oh, my goodness. Hello. 10:15 today. A little late skis, huh?
Oh, you're late
by
your
standards. A little late skis today, huh?
Huh?
In the staircase.
Oh, don't worry. I wrote a ticket.
I told her, you know what we got to do?
Wait, I banged on it for like 5 minutes. Then
And no one opens.
Nobody opens.
Did you text anybody?
I ended up texting Marcos and I called him when he wouldn't answer.
Man.
Yeah, because we start at 10.
That is fair. Like you knew we were busy.
I'm just saying, you text at 10:10.
So Chris Grier's meeting with the media today?
1 o'clock.
PM.
It's not.
What is he gonna say?
My
bad.
I would like to ask him, and I don't know how this. I would like to ask him one question, and that would be, when you look at all of the contenders, the one thing they talk about is the line of scrimmage. And you've built this team the opposite way.
What's the question? Why did you do that?
Yeah.
The hell were you thinking, Chris Grier?
No. Think about every time you turn on the TV and hear a football person talk about a team. It starts and ends with how well they protect the quarterback and how well they get after the quarterback. Every week. You may have a great wide receiver. You may have a great running back. But every conversation and every point in time, especially when it gets to championships and the Super Bowl, they talk about the guys up front. I didn't make that up.
No, I know, but I feel like he's already addressed that this year, hasn't he? Like he said that. With the media. Has he already
with
said,
the media?
Yeah, he's already said, like, obviously, we're
obviously.
No.
I don't want to hear obviously. Okay, because y'all laughed at us last year.
I know, but he already bit the bullet on that question. I mean, look, it's gonna be on his tombstone if he ends up leaving. Whenever that is, whatever he has to do to get
He's
fired.
Gonna have 2 comments. That, laughing, and F those picks. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I didn't have a problem with F those picks.
No,
it's just you burned out your time. That's it.
But my whole, and I've always had this problem, and I've told you this all the time, that you need some consistency up front, especially on the offensive side of the ball, when you need to protect your most valuable asset. he can't be running for his life. Because guess what?
Yeah, but do you want to know something? F them picks would have worked, or it could have worked, if your second round pick one year wasn't a cornerback that you took who never played, and you would have taken a lineman and put him in there.
Right. Well,
Whoever
again,
it would have been.
Again, that
So,
brings,
like,
that
if
brings
you-
back to the same.
No, but like, it's not that F them picks couldn't have worked. I get it. You can have if you trade for the number one player in the NFL, that's worth 2 first-round picks.
Right.
But when you have to take those other picks, you can't draft useless players.
Right.
And he's not good.
And what you said is actually helping my point. If he wouldn't have drafted a cornerback and drafted an offensive line instead of making a terrible assumption that
Eichenberg's going to work this year. Oh, what? You kept trying to go back to that well? Dum-dum. And you brought him back. Why?
I told you why.
That's why Ramsey wants out.
I told
He
you.
said we brought back who? Eichenberg is back. Old gymnast splits.
I told you why they brought him back. I told you why.
Because they're stupid.
Hey, think of Eichenberg as that guy who sits on the bench in baseball and is your utility player.
But he always ends up playing.
Because everybody gets hurt. That's a whole nother conversation.
Because Frank, our ringer at first base, took a line drive off the dome. Get back in there, Eichenberg.
Right. Right. That's but everybody has on their roster one or two guys that can play multiple positions on the offensive line. Yeah, you may not get to them. In some cases, you hope you don't have to, but they have those utility guys that can play multiple positions on the offensive line.
He's not Mike Mordecai, dude.
Huh?
Mike Mordecai. That's a utility player.
They don't make him like Mike Mordecai.
They don't make him like Mike Mordecai anymore. Or a Mezzica. Take a break. Back with more to this.
with me.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy back with you here. 560 WQAM.
Me, not Tobin. Me.
Take it, guys, up until 2
Oh,
here
my
on the
goodness.
program.
Hold on.
What's wrong, dude?
Your system's getting ready to update. My
Oof.
system.
Oh,
Right.
not the time, Ace.
No,
You can't postpone it?
no, I did. I tried to. But if you accidentally hit the wrong thing, your computer's going to shut off.
Damage is done.
Yeah. Like now?
Yeah.
Does anybody understand? We kind of do a radio show and use our computers for our people to see us.
We good.
Let's just send that update right in the middle of our show.
Have to.
Have to.
Dude. Let's get to 50 minutes of heat here. Brought to us by our friends over at Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the number one Kia deal in all of Florida. Get the star treatment. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online at hollywoodkia.com. The Miami Heat, well, they'll practice today. Practice. Yeah, they got practice today. Around
All right.
11.
Who's is everybody a
I don't know. I'm
Okay.
worried about Pelle. I'm worried about Swedish Swish.
Pelle rolled the ankle, hurt an ankle. That's tough.
Did it during pregame workouts too.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on over there?
When it first came out, I think it said like pregame lift.
Pregame lift, yeah.
How do you?
Can I tell you, Marcos? This is the honest truth. Baseball players, basketball.
He's mad at this computer guy.
It just restarted.
It's okay, we can still hear you. It's fine.
So
Looking good.
just the simple fact that baseball players, basketball players, and hockey players practice before they have a game. It blows my mind.
It is wild.
I
It is
can't
wild.
comprehend that. Shoot around, this, that, like holy smokes. So I don't even know how to comprehend that.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
It's a weird one because here's the other thing. If I play on Sunday and Thursday, people start hyperventilating. So you don't do nothing. These guys have back-to-backs and shoot around in the morning and then go get shots up during the day. I'm like, yikes.
And
Or
they do
morning skate.
Oh, punitive skate.
No, the punitive skate is worse.
Yeah, so he's the one I'm worried about. And I don't know with Wiggins. He didn't have a good first couple of games. I'm not really worried about the shooting so much as I am the defense because you need somebody to stay in front of these bulls. And, I would hope that Andrew Wiggins would be one of those people. But if he's got a tweaked hammy, Josh Giddey's going to be licking his chops.
Right.
Those are the ones that worry me.
That is unbelievable.
What? That Josh Giddey's balling?
No, say that again. If his hammy's bothering him, Andrew Wiggins, NBA final, NBA champion, might have a problem staying in front of
Josh Giddey. Yeah, it's tough. Pelle said this from bless you.
Bless you.
From Anthony Chang in my
Sneak
hair.
attack.
It said, quote, I was lifting and just stepped and got my foot caught in something. So I just stepped on a twisted angle and it doesn't feel great. Oof. That sucks.
Yep.
What do you think happened? Dumbbell?
I don't know. I gotta tell you.
Caught in a rubber band?
I ain't
Medicine ball?
I have never.
All three.
The only thing that I ever did in the gym was when I tore my rotator cuff. I played the year with it and had surgery after the year.
Mm-hmm.
But I was lifting, just light, just tried to keep the muscle around it, and it popped. And I just, and it went right to the trainer.
Marcus Morris is back on First Take today. You guys see his take yesterday? Good take.
Ooh.
Marcus Morris.
Oh,
what a take by him.
It fits your take.
What do you mean
You
it fits
like-
my take? It's not my take. If he has a take, let's not just dismiss people's takes. If he has a take, let's hear the man out. You hear what his take was, Frog Boy?
Did I hear it or do you
If
want
I'm
to hear
Giannis and we don't get past this first round, I think I'm going to sunny Miami. Listen, it's wide open over there. You can start something new. No, it's a really big market.
They need
but,
someone.
You know, they need it's wide open, right? And then you talk about Dame as well. Like, do both of them somehow slide to a new team and
How?
Miami?
Well, Dame originally.
How they both get to Miami?
I mean, listen.
You ain't got enough assets to get them.
We didn't see crazier things happen.
Stephen A?
Do Milwaukee want to blow it up after they lose, right? You just got Kyle Kuzma. Like, if they lose in this first round, I think it's so many questions to be answered. And I know that, Giannis wants to win, right? Like, as everyone bought in, like, you did lose Bobby Portis, particularly in the important part of the season. He will back for the playoffs. But I'm just not sure if I'm Giannis that I want to continue to keep on trying. Like, he got his one.
Yeah.
Right? Like, now, is it something new? Is it a new challenge, right? Do I go to a new team? Do I go to a bigger market? I think it'd be something to see for sure.
All right.
Marcus Morris yesterday on First Take. How about that, Leroy? A Morris twin, and not the one we had either.
That'll be the first and only time you listen to a Morris.
I don't know. It'd be a pretty good start to his media career to me.
Say. Based on what he had
Pretty great start to me, Moore. Let's hear Marcus out.
All right.
How he goes, and then he's like, it's not even that he just dropped the bombshell of Giannis. He goes, Giannis and Dame.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love this guy.
Maybe they both
I love him.
Has it been proven in Milwaukee they don't work well together? Or
you know what, dude? It might have, because Giannis has been on a friggin' tear since Dame got hurt.
Sometimes and this happened with D Wade and LeBron. Sometimes when you've both been the star of your team, it's hard to kind of function. And like D Wade never took a backstage for LeBron, but he told him that, right? So that there could be clarity.
Well, he had to trick him after he yacked up in the finals.
No, again, so there would be clarity.
Sure. But
everybody still did their own thing. So
I will say, if I'm and I love Damian Lillard. He's one of my favorite players in the league. You have to think there's zero chance that the Miami Heat are going to get involved with somebody dealing with blood clots.
Right.
There's no shot.
Well, that's the same thing I said about the injuries with other teams.
You would understand specifically with this.
Yes.
Like, you would understand specifically with the Chris Bosh thing. Like,
yes.
There's no shot that they would even go back to that well.
But one of the things that me and you would go back and forth about when you wanting to sign certain players or re-sign certain players, and I'm like, if the biggest problem was missing games, why would you sign up for that? With what you've been through.
Funsies.
No, it's not fun if they're not playing.
We'll get into it. We're gonna do Red Balloon today. We'll dissect all the people.
I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
You wasn't messing around.
Thank you.
Blew them up quick.
Well, you did a coach's move where you're like, I don't even think you can blow up balloons.
No.
The balloons.
No.
What do you mean? No.
Why did I say? I said.
I got chicken lips.
I go. Don't you need lips to blow?
By the way, speaking of coaches,
I love how you crack yourself.
So proud of himself. He's kind of went from fat shaming to lip shaming. Happy Lent.
By the way,
4 more days.
What do you got? You know what? I have determined that this has been a new awakening for me.
Of how often you want to do it?
No. And after Lent, I will try my best to continue.
Liar.
No, I'm just saying. Listen.
You are going to go guns a-blazing.
You're going to be like Patty Pimblett.
Let me explain
as soon as Easter hits.
Let me talk. To be fair to me, if a couple of hams walk by.
How is that not already shaming right now?
Because it's not a specific person.
No.
In general,
hypothetical shame right here.
In general, if I'm minding my own business and a couple of hams walk by,
he keeps saying it.
I'm not. What?
Because I know there's somebody.
I'm not fat shaming,
dude. There's somebody.
Who am I fat shaming?
Jennifer, there's somebody in his neighborhood that he sees every day.
No.
He's definitely thinking about.
No.
Wait till
listen. When I go to when I'm at my neighborhood, I try not to make eye contact. Not because of anything else other than that. I don't want to Mel likes to go outside and chit chat to the neighbors. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, what about the drive by? You come in the car in the community, and some lady's got her dog, and
No. There's
the
no.
Lululemons are a little too.
Lemons aren't ripe yet, huh?
I should yell out the door. You need Lululoose. He's already thinking about it.
Oh, okay.
No, wait. I already
Buy these.
started.
No,
I already started by saying
Yeah, an
there's
awakening.
nobody in my community.
Yeah.
You're-
Here's this awakening.
You're awakened.
No, I'm not.
You're
He's
awake.
woke.
been awake.
I'm telling you. Listen.
Leroy.
What?
Leroy.
I'm not going to. Right?
You're so excited.
No,
You're
I'm not.
counting down the days.
I'm not counting down there. I didn't even realize
You just
Easter
said
was this
4
week
days.
until Sunday.
What's Saturday?
Huh?
What's Saturday?
What's Saturday?
Mhm.
Saturday's nothing.
Saturday's nothing. Friday.
Excuse me?
Friday's Good Friday.
Saturday is something.
What
What
is
is it,
Saturday?
your birthday?
Oh, okay.
Birthday.
Oh, is
Let's
it?
just say it's your
Yeah.
birthday. Happy birthday,
Oh.
Jennifer.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're the cutoff.
Of what?
Don't forget
Taurus.
your favorites.
What does that make her?
Aries.
Yes.
What the hell's an Aries?
I don't know.
Is that water?
No, it's fire.
Fire.
Ah.
Yeah. Can't you
Mm,
tell?
That's what you need to shoot those birds. Gunpowder, fire.
Oh, my favorite of them.
Hunter says when he sees George Niang on Friday, if the Heat play the Hawks, that's going out the
Jeez.
window.
That is gone.
No, I'm not. No, because listen, he's very athletic, and it's sports is a curve. And
Why
let
did
me
you- why did you make it a
explain.
curve like that?
No,
Why did you do that?
Because here's why. Here's why. Because if everybody else is extremely skinny and you're not, it makes you look bigger because you're standing next to, like George Niang standing next to KD is going to make him look like Jerry Ball. But that's because KD's really thin.
We'll take a break here on the show.
See? No fat shaming.
What are you talking about? You slipped through 3 or 4 of them.
Who was I talking about?
That doesn't matter. That
Yes, it
doesn't
does.
matter.
In order to fat shame, it has to be directed at a person.
Why are you pointing at Marcos?
Because I'm not.
How? We're going to break.
Why did you do that to me?
Back after this. Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers. I got to tell you.
Ooh, sounded good.
I'm kind of
Not so good.
grown. Retro's growing on me.
Huh?
Retro vibe.
Oh,
Because
retro.
it's like a little hint of, because I never, who knows what the hell liquid sherbet tastes like, right? You never drank.
No, I kind of, when I tasted it, I was like, I get it.
Right.
I
That's
get
what
it.
I'm saying.
The
Kind of grows on you. It's not very strong,
Mhm.
so you can drink it and you got a little hint of it. So, yeah, I get it. It's like, hey, next flavor. I got it for you. Melted ice cream.
The Panthers lose last night
Oh.
to the New York Rangers 5-3.
That game was very annoying.
Ergo, they are locked into third place. They have nothing to play for tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning, who do have something to play. They could still catch. They got a couple left. They could still catch the Maple Leafs. Not likely, but they could. And if that happens, then of course they would drop the Leafs down into the Panthers series. Panthers were like, bring it on, dude. Who do you want? Lightning, Leafs. It's cats and five.
I want help.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we got tonight. I put the old feet up and let's get ready for the real season here. We've been waiting for it. We're excited for it. And it's all happening for us, baby. But that is tonight at 7:30. You could, of course, see that right here on 560 WQM. The Panthers preview tonight. This is a 30 start.
Yes.
Panthers preview at 7 o'clock. Doug Plagans will get you ready for all the action. And K-Raj on the call with them, I imagine.
Yes, it will. Yes, K-Raj will be on the call tonight.
Boom. There you go. So that is your Panthers update tonight. And we will see where the Cats are at and get this thing started, man. I cannot wait for the Stanley Cup playoffs. And feels like this last 2 weeks has just been like, let's just get there already. All the drama, all the injuries.
I would say more the injuries and trying to get guys healthy while still having to play a whole bunch of guys in a hockey game, right? It gets crazy. It's not like football or baseball or basketball where you can just sit a guy out. It's crazy how hockey even operates.
Wild. Meanwhile, on the Dolphins' perspective of things, they will be in a lot of news today as Chris Grier is going to meet with the media this afternoon, and we'll see what he has to say about the whole Jalen Ramsey scenario as the Dolphins today get a report out there publicly from the NFL Network after Slick Rick told you this weekend.
Should have known that 4 on the AP bio. It's no joke. It is no joke.
Yep. He is apparently he leaked or reported first an All-Pro was going to be traded by the Dolphins. And now we know it is Jalen Ramsey, which was kind of the buzz over the weekend because the Dolphins have a lot of All-Pros. I mean, it was going to be one of two guys. And I think the Tyreek Hill thing, they're probably waiting until after June anyway, if they are even able to move him. But he's obviously got a lot of drama he's got to address today, even with this, I know, being a draft-centric press conference. All respect to, what are you going to take, Chris? Biggest need or best player? Prospects.
Okay.
He's got some drama to address with his star wide receiver, his star cornerback, all that stuff going into this beautiful draft season, which gets going next Thursday. What makes you laugh?
I just think this is why have a press conference?
I don't know. Maybe he has to. I don't know what the rules are.
But you understand why have a press conference?
He's gonna get up there and he's gonna let us know. He is our fearless leader, our fearless football leader is gonna get up there and explain to us his plan on how he's gonna get the Dolphins out of mediocrity, even though he's had the chance to do that since 20.
It's not a short-term fix. We tried that. And things didn't work out. That's an honest and fair answer to everybody involved. He said, but then my question would be, But every player that you signed that had some value, they're not with the team anymore because you decided to pay outside guys.
Yeah.
So
it's totally fair. I mean, they're going to go into this. I think the things that he has to address really are going to be, you have a situation right now where Teron Armstead retired. They probably knew that was going to happen. But
probably, and just
how confident are they in Patrick Paul taking over for him?
In all honesty, not the worst thing.
I agree too.
Because
it was almost stressful.
it was,
even how good he is.
Right. As good as he was, right? The 4 or 5 weeks or half games that he didn't play, the way you had to shuffle your offensive line almost caused more of a problem than if he didn't play at all. And that's unfortunate because he was the best lineman that this team had.
You got Chris Grier, what he said he's going to invest in the O-line? Because, we've gotten an about face from the jokey jokes.
Yes, going forward, Teron and I had a conversation briefly yesterday. We're going to talk again here in sometime in the next few days or coming weeks. But also knowing that, this will be, we're going to have to invest in the offensive line now. Like Kendall did a fantastic job here for a few years, and we're just older there now and win. So, yes, this is the time again, like we did back a few years ago with Austin and Rob Hunt and Solomon Kinley and stuff. This is a time for us to again start investing in some offensive linemen.
Wow, what a concept. Crazy. How about that? He's learning, Leroy.
I mean, I would think that right now, time to graduate, right? You shouldn't still be learning. Now, I get it. You can grow year after year after year, but that should be like the cherry being added on top.
You want
like you get your master's, and then you love what you do so much, you go get your doctorate, but you got your master's, right? I don't want to hear 20 years into this profession that.
Do you want to hear a tweet?
Sure.
This is from Warren Sharp. Sharp Football.
Mm-hmm.
This is on the Dolphins offensive line. He writes, the Miami Dolphins offensive line crippled the offense last year. Number 28 in pass blocking, number 26 in run blocking. Their line is the number 27 most expensive this year. It's not because they have a lot of young starters. They invested the number 3 least draft capital in the O-line since 2022. They've now lost their best offensive lineman, Teron Armstead. He graded the number 4 best offensive tackle last year and ranked number 8 in pressure rate allowed. Tackle Patrick Paul, penciled in to start, was number 68 in pressure, number 82 and 85 out of 85 offensive tackles in overall grade last year. Their other tackle, Austin Jackson, of course, suffered injury last year, ranked number 80 out of 85 offensive tackles last year. On paper, the line is worse than last year, and that's saying something. Last year, the line ranked number 32 in running back stuff rate. I don't even know what that is, but that sounds bad. That does
stuff rate.
Stuff rate.
That means that you get stuffed in the quarterback's lap.
And number 31 in short yardage conversion rate. They did not get push up front in the ground game, ranking number 26 in yards. They ranked number 1 in offensive holding penalties, the most in the NFL since 2019. Holy crap.
Yeah.
But laugh.
Oof.
You laugh. Keep laughing at us.
I think that's where, see, in a sport or a business where no player is a guarantee, right? That means what you project him to be. I don't care how good he is. Like you got a whole draft in next week. Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter. Very good prospects. But there's no guarantee they're going to pan out. I think when you understand this in this profession, then you can't be that way about how things are going, right? Like he should have been a little more reserved, understanding that hey, we have a plan, but if these players don't pay out, our plan sucks.
Yeah.
But that's the reality of the sport. I would be more understanding about that. To say, look, we felt like we drafted a good person. It didn't work out the way we wanted. I can live with that. That happens everywhere. The team that gets those second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth rounders and it works out, for some reason, they seem to always be contenders. But it's a stab in the dark. It really is.
Karen says Finn's so bad I might start watching Love Island during the season.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
I saw more Odell Beckham on Love Island than I did him playing for the Dolphins last year. I'm not even joking. That's not a joke.
Your fault. Me. It was me and you. We were doing the show.
Yeah.
And we fought the whole show.
Yeah.
Because he wanted Odell Beckham. And I'm like, why?
I tell you what, they threw him on at UFC. They're like, it's Odell Beckham Jr. Get him on.
Can't do it at Kaseya Center. Anywhere else, I'm sure he gets
Probably, yeah.
applause, but not here.
Down here? Nah, not so great.
You would have known.
Take a break. What?
You would have known.
Ah, you're a bastard. Hour 2 next. It's our Tua, 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 Tonga Vailoa, not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort, Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua, it's our Tua,
Tua.
Tua, 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 Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tonga Vailoa, Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen.
Terrible party etiquette.
JFig?
No. So somebody brought some carrot cake and some macaroons and whatever.
Yep.
And I said, hey, she said, I'm non-committal on the carrot cake. You know, I said, did you get one of the macaroons? They only have one left. I'm like, they do that at parties. People will leave one.
Yeah, no,
because they don't want to take the last one. And my question is, hey, you ever thought that once the last one's gone, they bring more?
They're not going to bring one more. They're not going to bring more here.
No, I understand that. But why you see, you need to be more like sales. Sales don't care. Whereas 101, they're taking it.
I
taking
didn't
that
know
last
was
macaroon.
A macaroon, so I didn't get it.
That's
You
it.
didn't hear me when I said that.
You're terrible at. What did you think it was? Because I know I know you circled it. Did you circle it again?
I glanced from afar. I didn't know what it was.
It's got chocolate on the top.
Yeah, I think wasn't there like not even
Coconut.
Oh, that's what it was.
Hey, there's not a whole bunch of things that you could wrap in chocolate that won't be good, right? I'm not a big chocolate and fruit guy.
Not either. I mean, chocolate covered strawberries, not a fan.
No.
Fair enough.
Messes with like
The palate.
Yeah.
Let's get to headlines here. Just laughing at Timbo Slice. Chris Grier can go to hell. Should I change the lyric?
Here, can I ask everybody a question?
Hold on, let me do the sponsor
Okay, go ahead.
first.
Go ahead.
Brought to you by Doral Kia. At Doral Kia, choose over 500 new Kia miles in inventory at the Sport, Sorrento, and Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia.
There is nothing that Chris Grier could say today that isn't going to piss everybody off more.
Other than I stepped down as general manager of the
No,
Miami Dolphins.
he ain't saying that. It makes no sense.
No, I know it doesn't. I'm just saying, like, that's the only thing. Yeah, I agree with you. There's no, unless like it's I messed up, guys. I bleeped up.
So why do it is my question.
I think he has to. I think you're supposed to do one before the draft. I think that's like protocol.
Oh, Patrick Peterson. He's from down here.
He's on NFL Network.
Yeah.
You're not just randomly mentioning Patrick Peterson.
Yeah. He went to I want to say South Plantation. I think so.
Retired yesterday, I think. A couple days ago, maybe.
Oh yeah. Cardinals need a cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
Want to rejoin with Calais Campbell?
Oh,
I really don't think.
What?
You think Arizona's going to compete for anything?
No.
Okay.
No, but I think like when they just be for a new team, everybody assumes he wants to go to a contender. I don't think he wants to go to another new deal.
Oh, that's what you think.
100%.
Okay.
100%. I think didn't
he just get a new deal last year?
Sure did. Sure did. But he has no guaranteed money next year. It's guaranteed for this year fully. What are you gonna do? Gonna find a place that gives me a guaranteed year next year.
Okay. So here, man, I have a hard time with, especially if you're older, getting $25 million and getting mad because they won't give you $25 million for the following year. Right? It's a weird thing for me.
I get you, but I think
I'm not again.
That's
I'm
what
not,
I think. That's what I think this is. Like
right.
when people are like, "Oh, Jalen Ramsey just wants to contend," I'm like, I don't know about that. My spidey senses and knowing Jalen Ramsey, my feeling is he has no guaranteed money next year. Probably looking for a place that's going to pony up another guaranteed year for him.
Correct.
You want to know why? He's going to be 31 in October, and if you could get one more team to think, you know what? Jalen Ramsey, that's our solve in the cornerback spot. And then the Dolphins, I kind of get it too, because you're like, the Dolphins are already going into this year with a hole at cornerback. They're already like, we think we have secondary issues. So if the Dolphins, it's been kind of like you've seen all these cornerback mock drafts that they've had. So the Dolphins, if they can recoup a second-round pick for him, I don't actually hate it, because I feel like the Dolphins need a complete makeover on defense basically anyway. You got 3 guys you can really rely on: Sealer, Chop Robinson, and Jordan Brooks. Like, is that the list?
Yeah.
Caterco, who's solid. Like, he's going to contribute. He's not a star, but he's going to be back. But like, those 3 guys are like your pillar pieces. Bradley Chubb hopefully will be back to what Bradley Chubb was.
Like, you can't.
I'm not assuming. I'm just saying, like, those. I'm saying, like, that's what you're hopeful for.
You're hopeful
I gave
for.
you the 3 guys that I trust. Like, it's Chop, it's Sealer, it's Jordan Brooks. Like, those are the guys. If I'm missing somebody, I apologize. Hit it on the comments. Then I'll make good on that. But I think you already went into this year with a questionable secondary. So, like, if Jalen Ramsey did want more sweetener or sees the writing on the wall, is like, even if it's not, I want more money. Even if it's like, this isn't going to be a good defense this year, which means I'm not going to have a good year, which means I'm not going to get paid next year. Then you get out while the getting's good. You're like, well, let's mutually look for a place where I feel like it's going to work out more beneficially for me. Like, I go to a defense where I can get a better deal next year. So that's what I think it is. Like, even if it's not shaking down the Dolphins, I think it's basically rats off a ship. It's like, you see the Dolphins ship on defense is sinking. They let Javon Holland go. They're revamping the whole thing. And so I think that his representation and him looking to be like, what's our future here?
Let's say this, because I want to be clear on this. There's a couple of guys that played last year on the defense that we didn't think were going to be anywhere near what they were. And that's Chop and Calais. So from that standpoint, I'm going to give a little leeway on that side of the ball, because they've seemed to find, even when they brought Van Ginkel in, they've managed to find contributors that they didn't have to go spend a lot of money for. And in a couple of, so I'm a kind of, I have a problem with how things are panning out, but I will say you also have to acknowledge the 2 guys that they brought in when we were saying the same things last year, when Christian Wilkins left and Van Ginkel left. So I'm going to hold off on that. However, it's also the same person that laughed at us about the offensive line and said we don't know offensive line, and they were horrible.
That's right.
So,
let's hear more of Chris Grier defending his offensive line. Let's hear more of that. That's always good. Just to know what we're in for today when he speaks to the media.
Can I just say, though, if this is his idea of like, we could just replace the corner in the draft. If you look at the last 4 secondary.
Terrible. Except for Javon Holland.
Fitzpatrick. I mean, but even then, he doesn't hold on to them. So Mika Fitzpatrick, Javon Holland, Noah Igbenogany, Cam Smith, like, we've done nothing in regards.
No, he's better. Yeah, he's better at finding the undrafted guys than he is drafting guys. It's weird.
Or here's, for the life of me, I can't figure this out. Most GMs wear their draft picks like a badge of honor. That means they're going to keep them. So whenever you look at him and say he doesn't know what he's talking about, he can hold those draft picks in front of you and say, yes, I do. My success rate is above average with how the draft goes, which, I mean, the success rate was 40%. If that's high. So
and he's got 10 picks this year.
Right. So he says that. However, you have no argument when you let him walk. Because none of your guys are here.
But maybe the thought is, like, if we can get something for Ramsey, he's not going to be pleased here anyway because he's already kind of, moody or whatever. Maybe the thought is, can we survive with, like Dave says, Artie Burns, whoever that drafts somebody, Storm Duck, And like you always say, if you have a monster pass rush, that'll help. You're going to have pass rush reinforcements this year.
Correct.
Maybe they find something there, and that's their way of playing.
It could be the thinking of it.
I don't really. I honestly like. Look, it's not. I don't mind the Dolphins resetting here a little bit because I don't think they're close. I think there has to be an element of the Dolphins having to reset. It's just I don't trust the person who has to be in charge of the reset. Because that's the thing that's scary about it. I think looking at where the Dolphins roster is right now and saying, you know what, we probably should move on from. You look at the captains from last year, right?
Yeah,
3 of them are gone. In Calais, Teron Armstead, David Long. 2 of them are probably going to be gone in Jalen Ramsey, Tyreek Hill. So that leaves Tua, the fullback, and Sealer.
Correct.
So you're going to go in this new face of the franchise direction, which is probably where they should go because they need to figure out. And I don't think this is something that takes 5 years. You look at teams, you can turn it around in 2 years if you figure out your holes. It's just nobody in this fan base trusts that guy making the picks and managing this plan. Nobody believes in him to do it.
Oh my God. JFig looks like Birdie Eilish.
Point.
That's
for
so random.
Because I couldn't. Wait, first of all, if somebody had commented on any one of us, your ass would have flashed that message right across the bottom.
Definitely.
But you overlooked that one.
Another tab. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize this.
Oh, sure. Okay. So here's I agree with all of that. That you could have trust issues with not where the team is, but with who's trying to get us out of this situation. I'm fine with that. I get it. The problem that I have is that I don't, at some point, all of these people in the front office have to be honest with what and where they are.
Be honest, Chris.
You got to be honest about it.
Be honest.
Because it's hard to sell hope when you're not being honest. Right? Like, because if people can see right through what you're saying, you lose even more credibility. So I don't need to know what his game plan is. But at some point during this press, I think I want to hear how they are evaluating their situation.
I'm surprised it took that long to ask it. And really, when I said that, and I'm not trying to backtrack, I believe in that, but I will always support a group of guys that have worked with a coach that we believe in, that tirelessly works to improve, and that group did nothing but work, and it's the hardest working group in the building. Like, if you stay after practice, and you guys seen there sometimes, you guys go back out and walk in the locker, those guys are still out on the field working. And so with that group, it started the 2023 offseason. It was, are they good enough? Whatever. And we were the number 1 offense, number 1 yards per rush. And so we ran it back with a lot of those guys while adding Brewer, who was an an addition that people weren't concerned about because they were focused on another player that wasn't here. And rightfully so. That player was a good player for us.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, we used to have this, me and Robert would have this conversation about college kids. You know what you call a bad player with 1 more year experience?
What's that, Leroy?
2-year bad player. For some reason, we all think, like, we do this in college. He's young. He's going to take his lumps now, but when he's a senior, he's going to be better. Says who? So, in life, people need to understand this. In life, you could do everything right, and it don't work out, right? Those guys could be working their ass off and still not be any good.
Not only that, but they tricked Tua, too, because Tua's like sitting there, and he's like, brother, I get rid of the ball faster than anybody. I don't need an offensive line. I'm like, okay. I could notice. You tricked him. You held him hostage. That's Stockholm syndrome right there. Having him say ridiculous things like that.
Stockholm
idiot.
syndrome. Do you even know what Stockholm syndrome is?
Isn't that when you get held hostage and then you start falling for your captor's beliefs?
Yeah. The only thing he holds captive is that bottle of Jack Daniels because Jesus does this guy party. Oh my God.
But hey,
Did I
if
completely
you
mess-
had people commenting about the guys who were designed to protect you, you probably hit the bottle too.
Did I completely make up Stockholm syndrome?
No, that's right. That was a correct answer. Leroy just doesn't like when you say words.
I was thinking about something else. What's the
It says Stockholm syndrome is a psychological phenomenon where hostages or victims of abuse develop positive feelings or empathy or even loyalty towards their captors or abusers, often due to a survival mechanism of traumatic situations, like having everybody run after you and you gotta get rid of the ball in a minute, in a second and a half. Those guys are great. Leichenberg.
my favorite is? Hey brother, it don't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What do you mean it doesn't matter? Patrick Mahomes did that one time in Super Bowl. Like, what is this? You don't think all 5 of those bums are gone after last year's Super Bowl?
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
They are out of there.
Hey, you know what? I also see Patrick Mahomes doing a lot of partying like Tua after that, after playing behind that offensive line. He's going to basketball games, golf tournaments. Oh, yeah.
Take a break. Back after this. We never saw him at Live, did we?
Who?
Kid Rock. Wasn't he
No.
golfing?
No,
No.
we never saw him.
He be because he missed his flight.
Oh, did he?
So he never got there.
Shocking.
He missed his flight.
Yeah. It was,
He strikes me as a flight misser.
no,
would
I met
never
him
miss a
before.
flight.
Of course, Michigan.
That's another one that I need to really investigate, like this Drew
Now-
Carey.
Why?
He embraced the white trash element. Of
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he did a video from a trailer park on the top of it.
What is the thing you need to investigate?
No,
with
you
him?
know what,
Again,
though,
you're
I'll give
still
him-
on the Drew Carey thing. You're gonna drag
It's
it. You're
just-
gonna drag us to 2 days into this bit.
You
I'm
know,
not- I don't want
he
to.
upset someone so much that someone called promo.
Oh, yeah,
because they
that's right.
thought that was a phone number to call.
No. It wasn't about Drew Carey though. It was about it was what you guys said about Brad Garrett.
He's not funny.
Not funny.
Not.
How could that upset somebody to call
Dude,
promotions? I don't
can
even
I-
They
understand
call
that.
promotions.
That is
yes.
crazy.
Can I just tell you,
That was wild.
nothing about that man is funny.
Nothing.
You're
No,
gonna upset
No.
the- Okay.
Something is fun. When he was on Raymond, that was funny.
don't
That was a
know
funny
again.
He was
character.
sidekick.
Being a giant mope was funny.
Sidekick.
And so maybe it was on me because I had never seen his comedy before, but I was very taken aback about how angry he was. And he's also a giant. So
Yeah.
it takes you back. You're like, why is Raymond's brother so angry? So I would say great actor.
Yeah.
Not a good comedian.
Wow.
Any other people that we found in life that do good either comedy shows or movies, but stand up sucks? Because I would say, Marcos, you come in contact with this a lot.
Oh,
A guy stars in a movie,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden he thinks he's a comedian,
for sure.
but he didn't write those lines.
No, he did not. That happens a lot today with the TikTok thing. Like you're funny on the internet, you do skits, now you think you can do stand up. It's different. It's a different animal.
That happened with that Matt Rife. Well, like he blew up in popularity because of crowd work.
Yeah.
But then, like Netflix gave him a special. Everybody said it sucks. So then he had to come back and do a crowd work special, which
Why
What?
you gotta mention him?
Yeah,
that's just a
Biggest
recent
beef.
example. Like he's talking about because he got famous on TikTok, did he not?
yes, because he was handsome.
He's not handsome.
Not handsome. Changed my mind. Hate it.
I
Don't
just
get
think
me
I just
started.
think that
Well, I do want to
here's
get
the
you
funny-
started. What
the
about
funny
him?
thing about
Oh, she's got beef with Matt.
Why do you
Rife.
have beef with Matt Rife?
Oh, does she have?
No, I want to know. Why do you what happened?
Oh,
No, I want to know. What do you mean?
no, no. You opened the door.
Yeah, you opened the door. This
Hey.
goes back to your beef with Jeremy Piven, and now you have beef with Matt Rife.
I mean,
Yeah.
do you like any comedians?
No.
Okay.
I
Bunch
like
of whiny
Marcos.
babies.
I like
So
Marcos.
here's the deal. I've always wondered.
Actually, just
like-
kidding. I like Hannah Burner
Oh,
Think
nice.
about
and
this,
Chappelle Lacey.
Marcos. Have you ever like a comedian?
You're letting her off the
You
hook.
you can just look at a guy
You're
and
letting
say,
her off the
he's funny.
hook.
Yeah, because I don't like.
I want to know why she has beef with this guy.
Tell you and break.
So
Bad.
most of the time with a comedian, you can look at him and say that guy gonna be funny.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the guys who I don't suspect though that are like, wow, this guy's actually pretty funny. But yeah, you can tell a lot of the time.
Like a lot of times,
Yeah.
just the way they carry themselves, like, this guy's a clown. He's gonna be fun,
Yeah.
right?
Michael Yo's funny
Yeah.
And a Canes
and
fan.
a super nice guy.
Yes. But you can just tell, right?
Yeah.
The people that try too hard to be funny are usually the worst comedians ever.
Hacks.
Hacks.
Bums.
You look at him and say,
Boom.
dude, you're not funny. What are you doing?
I hate when they say something and like the crowd doesn't give them the reaction and they're like, these are funny. You guys are dead. These are funny. And I'm like,
You know how bad you have
Funny's
You just
funny.
want to go on the microphone. and be
Let me
like,
put
"No,
this.
you're not."
Let me put this out there, Marcos,
Not
and I
true.
want you to take next time you're at, and this happens.
Yeah.
I want you to think about this. You know why so many comedians are successful at comedy clubs? Because the people are going there to laugh.
Yeah.
So you have to be pretty bad
To get no laugh.
to get no laugh, right? It's not like you at a party at somebody's house
100%.
and you decide to tell a joke. People are paying money to go and drink and laugh, and you stop the laughter.
It was like this Bob Dylan who I watched the other day get real selfish in the Bob Dylan movie. Well, it wasn't Bob Dylan. It was the guy playing Bob Dylan. What was that guy's name? Chalamet?
Oh, Timothy
Chalamet.
Did
Yeah.
you like the movie or no?
Chalamet.
Liked a little plot. Got to be honest with you. It pretty much was just, here's me doing a Bob Dylan song. And
Now-
here's me doing another Bob Dylan
was it-
song.
We
Singing?
thought differently about music back then because I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest with you. Bob Dylan can't sing.
He can't sing.
There we
He
go.
can't
But
sing
an
a lick.
excellent writer.
Right.
That was his bag.
But could Timothy Chalamet sing?
But
He
here's
no. Look, he did an excellent Bob Dylan, but that's just the movie. The movie is just here's me singing Bob Dylan's next song, and now I have a song with a drum. I was an innovator, Bob Dylan. But what happened was at the end. Spoiler alert! If you guys haven't seen the Bob Dylan movie, but I'm saving you time. Bob Dylan basically he comes up in the root of folk, which is basically
Right.
It's a one man. It's
You
a man, a
listening?
guitar,
right.
and a microphone. That's it. And that's what
And he
what it was.
became a legend.
And he then wanted to become more of a musician, and the folk people did not like it. They're like, "Where's Tambourine Man?" He's like, "But I got a new song, and there's a drum and a keyboard." And they're like, "Get out of here, Bob Dylan!"
So that's how he got. That's how he ran. That's how he got ran out of.
He got
music.
ran out of the. Well, he got not out of
Ooh.
music, but he got ran out of the. He got
genre.
too much out of the genre. He
Ooh,
tried to.
Somebody called out Kid Rock.
What's that?
Kid Rock is a fraud. His father owned multiple car dealerships. He grew up in the richest part of Michigan.
Believe it.
Wow.
Yeah,
I believe it.
You know, I had a similar situation to what you're talking about with Bob Dylan this weekend with T.I.
Really?
T.I. was there. And he comes out and he does about 30 seconds of his song, and everyone's like, "This is a concert. This is amazing." And then for the next 45 minutes, he's like, "You thought this was gonna be a concert, didn't you?"
Like, yeah,
Here's mediocre comedy.
Appropriately.
What the hell's wrong with you?
The damage is done, my friend. Is next.
On.
Can you give us a weather update, Leroy, from the Demesman
Sure.
and Dover law firm? YourAccentAttorneys.com. Free consultation 24/7. Call 866-954-MORE. Schmeeth and Schmolik says Tobin is David Gordo.
All right. We got partly cloudy skies, although I'm looking out west. It seems to be a little bit more cloudier. Winds are coming out of the east. I'd say about 10 miles an hour. They don't look like they're too, maybe gusting a little bit above that. Looks like a beautiful day. Temperature's got to be right around 80 right now. Just a real nice couple of days. We had like a run of 5 days ever since that torrential downpour we got last week.
Torrential downpour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was that? No, that was Sunday, right? Last Sunday when I was watching TV and everything got cut off.
Hunter says if Tobin was a golfer, he'd be Rory Snackleroy.
Solid.
It's good.
No, you don't talk. Because I just figured
That's
something
my
out.
damage is done.
No, that's my damage is done.
my
Wait,
damage
I
is
was
done.
wrong. How can it be your damage is done?
Let's
What
get
I
the
did.
damages done. Let's do it.
My damage. I go before you.
I'm going. Oh, you know what? Whatever. It's fine.
Frog Boy, you go first.
My damage is simple. Leroy!
What?
You're my nominee. Because how dare you leave the chat? I am
My damage is done.
Wait a minute. Okay, fine. Go.
No. I just knew that was going to be both yours. So that is not my damage is done. My damage is done goes to very easily Chris Grier and the Miami Dolphins. Like I said yesterday via text, just when you thought being a Miami sports fan couldn't get worse after experiencing this heat season, the Dolphins are preparing to up the ante and potentially give us our worst record in the last 5 years. So for that, no matter what happens, Chris Grier, the damage is done for you, bucko.
Wow.
Sick of this.
Damage is done, my friend.
Leroy?
So my damage is done. Goes to Jennifer.
Wow.
Wow.
Because you guys made fun of me for leaving the conversation, but all I really wanted it to do was stop, and I didn't know how to do it. And then I realized the next morning.
No, you didn't realize because you asked me, okay?
I asked.
Please,
No, wait.
Let me
wait.
get this. Let
So,
me get this
so
correct.
then I started getting texts again. And I said,
Marcos,
she said, all you
witnessed
need to
this.
do is
You
hide the
actually witnessed
alerts.
Mm.
I'm like, then does it just automatically go away? She goes, no, I brought your ass back.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Get
like,
over here.
I can't even like control my own
Hands up,
stuff.
and it
I didn't know you could do that
basically
either. I thought you have to like start a new chat, but she just brought your ass
Right?
back.
She just brought me back.
Brought you back.
So like,
Welcome back, mother bleeper.
yeah, like, so I didn't even have control of my own phone.
I did have things that I wanted to say yesterday, and I was like, yeah, Leroy, I don't want to bother him, you know?
I brought him back yesterday morning.
Don't want to bother him.
Don't want to bother him. I texted
Wow.
this morning, but I was like, yeah. Texted after Slick Rick was right.
Somebody said technology 86, Leroy 2.
Jennifer, what's your damages
Well,
done?
no, the whole thing was that he thought the only way to get out of the chat was to.
I was just hitting buttons at that
Get
point.
out of
I
the
was
chat.
not aware of how to do it.
So then
I wasn't going to ask.
I literally asked him during break, do you want me to show you how to just hide alerts? He was like, yeah, show me. I showed him like 3 times, by the way. And he was
Tell him how to
like,
change his password too, because that's going to stick for me.
oh my goodness. Leroy and technology.
What do we say about the old?
No, why do I have to change my password
And
every
then
12
he's
seconds?
like, okay, so what happens now? I'm like, well, you're already back on the chat. And he's like, what? How did you do that? And I just brought him back. And that's when he noticed that he was back. So not because you noticed before.
Damage is done.
Can't leave us, buddy.
Yeah, you thought you could get out like that, huh?
Can't leave us behind.
Man, I love that.
What's your damage?
Well, you guys familiar with a man who used to coach one Leroy Horde?
Billiam
Belichick.
Belichick.
His name is
Billiam?
Bill Belichick. And let me just say, I got to know what's going on with him in this new squeeze.
Oh, I hate it.
Oh, no.
Because
The more
have you
people-
guys seen the video that came out of her on the practice field?
Wasn't she also running for something now?
She, I believe, is going for Miss Maine or something like that
Something
in a beauty
like that.
pageant.
Yeah.
Which I have no problem with her doing that. That's fine. But I imagine Bill Belichick to be very buttoned up when it comes to football practice.
No, we used to have Bon Jovi running around the field.
Did you ever have one of his squeezes on
Yeah,
the
that's
football
different,
field?
though.
Well, let me show you the video, Leroy.
I gotta see it.
She's wearing what appears to be some kind of a trench coat and boots.
Why?
I don't know. But she is keeps going back to the staff. Now, it almost appears to me like she's a staffer. She keeps going and checking on them because the old need to get checked on. And they keep adjusting things. But she goes out in this recent practice that went viral, where she keeps walking back and forth with this Evel Knievel trench coat that she has on with these boot
Hey,
heels.
Question,
want her
real
outfit.
quick.
And here she is.
Why the hell does she need to? Why in
Oh,
the
and she
hell
got a
why is she
whole
does she
there?
need to
mic
be
and
matching
everything.
that well at practice?
Because she's a Tar Heel.
No,
What is
but
she
I'm
doing,
saying,
though?
why does the trench coat match the skirt and the boot? Like you're at
Wait,
practice.
hold on. What?
Well, I
Watch,
think that's
Why
watch
say
when
that?
you see the whole outfit.
no.
Obviously, her outfit's gonna match.
Yeah, she's gonna match, dude.
She's
Like,
in practice.
well,
Okay.
What do you
well,
want
she's
her
a
to do? So,
beauty queen or
do you
whatever,
want her to-
pageant queen, whatever she
yeah,
is.
what are you expected to wear a UNC polo?
Did
Sleeves
you want
cut
her in
off?
uniform?
She's on the football field. She can casual.
Okay,
be
you can be
casual.
casual. That's what we're kind of questioning.
Look,
here.
That's
But,
not
like,
casual.
I'm not here
did
to
you think
question.
she was not gonna match?
I'm not here to question anybody's love. I'm happy these two kids are in love.
Mm.
But
Makes me sick.
what the hell's going on there?
Honestly, I have no idea.
I don't know.
Also, where'd you get your coat?
Did
I
she
don't
have a
get-
headset? Did I see her with a
She
headset?
did have a headset.
Oh, maybe that was it. Maybe she was doing something with
I think I don't know. Like she looks like, first of all, she looks like she's checking his pants.
Yeah.
No.
He's
Did he
probably
remember
looking-
his belt?
Look, the skirt matches the like.
Leroy,
Yeah, it's
she's gonna
practice.
match.
Why
I
you-
don't understand
why
what-
is the
why you're
fashion
so
what's
confused
really-
by
Because
that.
you're
I
on
don't
a football
understand.
field.
Okay, that's the crazy part. That's the
You know
crazy
what?
part.
That's the crazy part. Not what she's wearing, but
Are you
she's wearing it
serious?
on a football field. Not even on game day.
I'm
I feel
just
like
hey,
everything is being
not
lost
even
here.
game, not even regular training camp. This is spring practice.
Right.
This is wild.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm just like, what's going on here with Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old squeeze?
What is going on, really?
Is she the head of football operations? Is Mike Lombardi just a mouthpiece?
No, she might be a video person.
I'm not the guy who thinks women know less than men. There's no room for women to coach. I just don't like the fact that if she does have this football knowledge and wants to contribute, that her means of getting
Well, the word was that Bill Belichick, all of his UNC emails are CC'd to her.
Yes, I
That
did hear
she
that
is
as well.
almost like the organizer. So I don't know if she's basically like his assistant also.
The old
Because
need
the
help.
the old need help with
The
technology.
old do need help.
They do need help.
The old do need help.
Don't take it back. He's much older than you.
He is much older. Coached you.
Oh, you got chuckles over there. Huh?
I had to help you go back into a conversation.
Yes, I didn't want to be back.
She's
You
doing
wait,
what I did to you.
I didn't even want to be in it. Y'all brought me back.
Well, you can't leave us.
You thought you were gonna finally leave the group chat?
I thought I was out of it.
there was gonna
I
be
was
another
like-
one created.
I know. Here's what I
if I
said.
couldn't have
I
done
was
that.
thinking like this. Damn, how am I gonna get back in this conversation? I don't care. I just want to sleep.
Dade South says she looks like a pageant mom. A little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Time and place. I'm not questioning her outfit at all.
You
I'm
are.
questioning.
You
Hold on.
actually
I'm
are.
questioning her outfit on the football field.
It's really the trench coat for me.
No, the outfit on the football field, I totally get.
Those are-
I would
That's
not
the
wear
only
that.
thing I have a problem
I
with.
would not wear that.
Right.
However, your question was why was she matching? That makes no sense at all.
No, it's
course she's
because
gonna
it's
match.
football.
But like,
You're on a football field with no fans.
How
Well,
dare you match?
if she is a pageant, I mean, I guess
How
you have a
dare you.
superpower of walking in heels anywhere, but like that's got to be the least efficient place to walk in heels. Heel
100%,
boots.
100%.
On
And white,
grass?
and
On
not
grass?
only that, but white boots.
She's like, yeah, give me a playbook. Someone give me a playbook right
She's
now.
built like a 7-iron.
Run the ball.
She's just showing her.
Cat for Life says she's about to sing the national anthem.
You know what? Maybe.
But that's what I'm saying.
She looks like
I'm
she's
not
about to
here.
bring juice boxes
I'm
and
not-
snacks to players.
Orange slices.
I'm
Not
not.
to the players.
I'm
but
not
to Billiam.
complaining.
Damage is done.
I'm not complaining that
Leroy,
she's
you were.
on the field. I'm complaining about what she's wearing at that time.
Exactly.
That's it. I'm not complaining about the outfit.
Dude, but it is odd that Bill
It-
Belichick is at this point in his life where this man is like literally
Can
he is the quintessential guru of football. This is what he is known as. And it seems to me like he's got a child as his assistant.
Can I say this?
He needs help.
I'm gonna say this. That dude eats and sleeps football. So you best
Used to.
believe. No. I'm telling
Now
you.
he sleeps.
And
with
it looks like she's
cucumbers
going
on
up
his
to him
eyes.
and saying, "Speaking of sleep, Bill,
What?
Nap time.
nap time."
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, honey, come on, we got to do Oklahoma." She goes, "You can go count Oklahoma drills in your office, big man."
Hey,
Okay.
guys like that don't sleep. I'm telling you.
The old need sleep.
I love a good nap. I ain't gonna lie.
She looks like she keeps up his nap times.
I mean,
Definitely gives him more milk, tucks him in.
they definitely don't take a nap
Aw,
together because she
that's
got
so
way
cute.
too much energy, right?
Oh yeah, I don't know what she's doing on the other side of things. She's probably returning all the emails. I don't know.
But I'm telling you, like a lot of people think he just did this to have something. No, I really do believe he takes this serious. I think he's gonna be
I'm sure he does. He's done nothing other than keep football serious in his life, but
Mhm.
he is old.
I think he's changed.
And
What is he, 73?
He really
72.
has. He's not
72.
the same
Yeah.
Billy.
and he also
So he's 72 Dolphins.
maybe she is his way to relate to the kids because she
Yeah.
basically just graduated.
No.
But like
You don't think so? So let me get this straight.
Here's my wife, guys.
Because
She's
I'm
like
telling I'm telling you, if there's anything
This is just weird.
that people are missing about Bill Belichick is that whether he can relate to players. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. Right? Like you're going to always know where you stand, where you need to go.
Stop.
Gonzalo says Bill adds blue chew powder to his applesauce.
Yeah, still not going to do him any good during practice.
You're
Like,
chewable. How is that a thing?
Makes him easy to crush. Take a break. Whew, back after this.
Midday
WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. We are about to go over our NBA free agency game, which I'm very excited about. Very excited about. I got even more excited because, man, they got a topic on First Take today.
Oh,
Dude, they got a topic on First Take. And you know what? People talk about this First Take. They like to bury it. They say Stephen A. Smith couldn't be president. I'm not here to say
Aren't you one of them?
that said he couldn't be president. I said I'd hear him out.
No.
Really?
That you bash First Take at times.
I don't think so.
That's why you're.
I'm a fan of First Take. I don't think I bash First Take.
You're a First Take.
When do I bash First Take,
You're a
JFig?
First Take
Why
bash.
did you go high pitch Eric on us?
I don't think I do bash First Take. I'm a fan of First Take. I've been a fan of First Take.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's other people. You know the people I don't like.
Nah.
Or think it's a, like this guy up
We
here.
like or dislike the totally different people, right?
You know?
Because you like Skip Bayless.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's hard time seeing Skip Bayless. I got to be honest with you. I feel sad for him.
What is he doing nowadays?
He's
trying
doing
too
like
hard.
he's doing YouTube bits. You ever see those bits of like doctor tries to convince anti-vaxxers vaccines are good and they have to talk to like 25 people at a round table?
Yeah.
He did that with like sports fans.
Oof.
And apparently one guy cooked him on LeBron versus Jordan. I'm just like, look, the former GOAT, he has fallen so far. He has to do TikTok bits.
I don't think he was ever the GOAT, right? I think people enjoyed seeing the back and forth with him, with Stephen A. and Skip. Right?
Mario says, you've always hated ESPN, bro. I hate Get Up. I really dislike that show.
You do.
'Cause it's
That to
Get Up.
me is the worst show on television.
You do. hate
Respectfully.
Hmm.
Can I say respectfully after that?
that. I don't think so.
I
No,
mean,
because
you
you-
know,
It
I
is
mean-
truly to me, Get Up is the worst. It's the worst sports show on television, and by far the worst show on ESPN.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Greeny, Tannenbaum. Ugh.
Well, is it bad because it's bad, or is it bad because it's guys that you don't like on it?
Did I not describe? Ugh. Did that not come across clearly? That's how I feel.
No, but you didn't tell me. Is it because of the guys doing it, or just the show?
Yes,
Correct.
exactly.
All of the above.
I love how he
This
had to
is-
look at Mark. I was like, what does that mean?
You see how you know what he does? Classic tactic by old Tobes,
Yes.
because he always leaves a little escape hatch in case they say something he likes, and then he can just. I didn't totally dismiss him.
Well, listen, you dismissed Slick Rick yesterday, and look where we're at.
Slick Rick.
Exactly.
I mean, but come on.
Problem?
Slick Rick scoops.
What do you want me to do, dude? This is the day and age that
Can
we're
I
at.
just tell you, if somebody called right now and said, I got big news regarding the Dolphins, what's your name? Slick Rick Scoop. Are you picking up the phone?
100%.
Oh, I would.
I need to listen to what he has to say.
Come on.
This guy would.
The
Remember Drew
confidence.
Starr? Oh my God. Why do I know who Drew Starr is?
Drew Starr is a Heat legend, and I will not have you besmirch his
Okay.
name, you bastard.
You like underground sources.
It's not underground. First of all, they're different.
So
Drew's-
you basically,
what? It's kinda like-
instead of going to Apple and getting music or whatever, you're buying like
You're
on LimeWire.
They're different
He's
things.
on LimeWire.
You're on LimeWire.
you're buying mixtapes that are at the gas station.
Drew Starr will every once in a while have me fooled by having me think that Kawhi Leonard is at an Aventura Chipotle.
Oh,
That's it. Why you so gullible?
I don't know.
that was a down.
It's a great question. It's a great question. But he also is like a bibliography of trade rumors. Like if you want like the greatest source of just everything, he's listening to everything. I really don't think he's a real person. I think he's AI.
Wow.
Slick Rick. This is my first time really interacting with Slick Rick. He nailed it. Jalen Ramsey. That's off a ship.
What was his profile picture again?
He said
It was
Timu sources.
It was a bulldog wearing an NFL hat and sunglasses.
Ooh, Slick Rick Scoops has broken multiple stories before the mainstream guys.
He has. That's why I told you not to dismiss him. But you were like, Slick Rick Scoops. That's how you were. You were dismissive, which is, I would say your superpower.
is dismissing
Yeah, I just think
nonsense.
I just think you're dismissive.
Hmm.
You're mostly dismissive,
Hmm.
especially when it comes to what I bring you to the table. You're
No,
like,
that's not. I'm not. You're saying I'm dismissive of you? No, it's
yes.
not. Wait a minute. Has there not been certain topics that I have called you and asked you about? So how can I dismiss
what?
you? Like the fight game. I'll always ask you.
You don't always get to use the fight game as your crutch.
What do you mean?
Come on, he asks you for hockey questions.
No,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't do that anymore.
Can't do that.
That's not
anymore.
Like,
true. You
God
definitely
forbid.
do.
I should
Anyway.
ask him. The guy talks like he's a professional hockey guy. Went to the game and blah blah blah.
I did
Got
go to
my
the game.
Got my notes and I'll ask him a question. How dare you ask me a hockey question?
Okay, but that scenario. But what happens if it's 3 guys with a penalty and one guy scores on the shorthand? Does the penalty go away, or is it a
One guy
round
go
robin
away.
overtime tournament?
That's not. See, you're a jackass.
Easy, bro.
You're a jackass just for even like. You see how he has to exaggerate the questions I ask, so he doesn't sound like an idiot.
Headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia miles in inventory at the sport at Sorrento and Telluride. And remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia. This is a topic on First Take today. Would the Heat be a better place for Giannis than the Bucks? Hey, that's television. That's good. Wow.
Now all of a sudden you're like ESPN.
Wow.
Because they pick a topic that
I don't even know what they said. I look forward to watching it later, but that's a topic. We'll discuss. Of course, we're going to play Red Balloon Free Agency coming on up here in just a matter of minutes.
Gotta come up with a better name.
What do we call it?
I don't know. Give me a second.
Burst your free agent bubble?
I mean, what is that show called?
Getting warmer.
I thought it was just called Red Balloon Show.
Yeah, it sucks though.
Hey, I mean, the dude said hi. Pop, 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 pop.
Pop, pop.
That has, can I just tell you? That's life altering right there. If I walked in front of a group, first of all, let's be clear. All them women that popped a balloon would have probably got the balloon popped on them too.
Leroy.
So they should have a little bit more understanding.
Why is that? Why
Of their
why is there a
situation.
balloon getting popped?
Leroy.
I'm just saying, they weren't
What do you mean by
supermodels.
Oh.
They
What
weren't
makes
super.
them not a
Yeah,
supermodel?
what makes them not?
They just weren't.
Hmm.
I like this. Omar Kelly has a column out now. Everyone associated with the Dolphins is in survival mode. And he starts off, I actually had to look up on the phrase, like rats deserting a sinking ship on Tuesday morning. I've heard it used often, but never understood its origins. How do rats know a ship is sinking? It's a great question.
I mean,
Where do they go once they abandon the boat? Can rats swim? It's a metaphor that describes people abandoning a failing situation quickly and in large numbers.
Rats off a ship.
That's where we're at right now, dude. We are at, hit the big voice of, where are we at with this with Dolphins? Rats off a ship.
hey,
Rats
the
off a
funniest
ship.
thing about that is he's taking a truly simpleton comment that we have on a weekly basis and tried to be intellectual about it. Where are these rats going?
Omar said, he goes,
Rats off a ship.
driftwood? What do they do?
Right. Do you
they-
see, like,
do they hop on a
is
dol-
there a whole bunch of rats with Dolphins
Yeah,
uniforms
yeah, do-
just floating in the
I think the
ocean?
rats are looking for a dolphin to swim on.
Like, who's the guy who said he was on a boat floated for 20 hours?
Was it Rob Conrad?
Rob Conrad
Yeah.
floated at bay for 20 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what they do? Do
Mm.
they do the Rob Conrad?
Well,
I don't know.
if you're a dolphin and your rat's off a ship, it's no problem because Tua will probably be passing by in a yacht and pick you up.
Oh, no, but question, do the Dolphins eat the rats that are rats off a ship? Because they look like appetizers floating in the water.
Do dolphins eat rats? It's interesting.
That's disgusting. I hope they don't.
Why not? I mean, I got a dog who tries to eat everything with eyes in the backyard.
Yeesh.
Dogs eat anything, really.
Omar says the latest is Jalen Ramsey forcing his way out of the Dolphins less than a year after strong-arming the Dolphins to sign him to a lofty, lucrative extension, which will pay the cornerback a team and team captain $25.1 million in 2025, which is fully guaranteed. Ramsey is a known known in the NFL as a mercenary. He's abandoned 2 teams, Jacksonville and the Los Angeles Rams, before privately lobbying for what Tyreek Hill publicly requested at the end of Miami's 8-9 season. It appears that he will get his wish because the only reason the divorce becomes public on the day Chris Grier is scheduled to address the media for the first time this offseason began. Instead of talking about the upcoming draft class and the team's fiscally conscious approach to free agency, or better yet, how he plans to save his job, Grier is now forced to address Ramsey's plotted departure. I've heard about Ramsey's desire to jump ship for weeks. There's been internet speculation about the impending trade since this past weekend. Clearly, the leak of the mutual parting of ways, which is how it's being sold, is either the Dolphins trying to improve the offers they are getting for the 7-time Pro Bowler. They gave up a 3rd-round pick and tight end Hunter Long. Oh, yeah, I forgot about him. Or Ramsey's camp making sure the world knows that his time in Miami has concluded. Rats up a ship. There's Ramsey with his little snorkel.
Rats off a ship.
Oh, man. What a time, everybody. Let's get to some cat talk here, which is brought to us by Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the #1 Kia dealer in all of Florida. Get the star treatment. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online at hollywoodkia.com. The Panthers, they lost to the Rangers 5-3. They wrap up the regular season tonight against the Tampa Bay Lighting. 7:30 is your puck drop from Tampa. And so Panthers preview gets going at 7 o'clock on WQAM. All right, when we come back, very exciting. Giannis buzz, Kevin Durant buzz, buzz, baby. It's B season. I don't know what that means. Anyway, we'll get into that coming up next. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. We're streaming live on the Odyssey app, on YouTube, and on Twitch. Miami 560 WQAM. Let us get to what we have been excited about. We are stealing the red balloon game because NBA free agency is upon us before you know it. And the Heat, they lose tomorrow. Off season's here. And we already got fodder aplenty. Fodder aplenty is out there.
Wait, but
You
here's
don't
what I
want to
hate
trust
about
me
it.
with these.
Here's what I hate about this time of year.
What's up?
And you.
Okay.
This time of year.
Mhm.
Anybody on planet Earth that says something you like,
Uh-huh.
you run with it. You might not even like that person. Then all of a sudden he says something that you would like.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's your bud. He's your pal.
Sometimes you got to see the other side of people, you know? It's crazy. So anyway, Leroy, since you don't like that, I'm putting some of the control into your hands today.
Okay.
Because we have a game show host, all right? Frog Hopper is joining us here. And he is going to host a game show.
Thank you.
Free agent red balloon game. You have a bevy of red balloons in front of you. We have pins for said balloons.
Ah!
Boom. And now you have just realized if you don't like a red
I wasn't ready.
if you don't like a free agent that he brings up to you,
Can I just say this?
I'm scared.
I moved the balloon. I was moving the balloon while holding the pen.
smart.
I didn't realize it till I'm like, oh crap! I let the pin go and it's stuck in my leg.
So
we can't do nothing without hurt.
Frog Boy is going to bring up a free agent.
Yes.
You could give your initial reaction to popping it, or he's going to continue to give some qualifications of said free agent.
Yeah.
And as long as it goes through, you like the free agent, leave your balloon. If anything turns you off, pop that balloon.
Okay.
You get the game? I think it's easy enough.
Is it one balloon per person?
Yes.
Yes, we're just gonna rotate.
Yes. But if you keep your balloon, let's just say ex free agent. Like Tyler, if we mentioned Tyler Hero for some reason, if we were doing this in I don't know, if we were doing this in New Orleans, you could not pop your balloon and then just hold on to that balloon for the next one, JFig.
Wow, this popped violently.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. By the way, you doubted my balloon blowing skills.
Oh, did really well.
Looks like a party.
Let me
Did a
tell you
lot.
something. Old chicken lips blew those things up like it was
How?
nothing.
Why do you gotta do your friend like that? So dirty.
All right, let's all grab one.
Put it
Grab
this
a
way.
balloon in front of you.
Grab a
With those-
balloon.
Don't pop it.
With those lips, he's not cooling off a lot of soup.
All righty.
I'm scared.
Jesus Christ.
That's what they call it.
Cool off soup. I have air that comes out of them.
Soup coolers.
I feel like it.
All right. What do you have for us, Frog Barker? What do you have for us here today
All right.
for our first free agent?
Welcome on into Red Balloon Free Agent. So, because this is a radio medium as well, I will also be playing, instead of just saying their name, I will be playing a highlight for you to identify our lucky bachelor.
All righty.
Let us start off with contestant number 1.
Flyby. Good pass.
That was worth the classic. That is our own.
You got any highlights where they actually say the name of the person?
You know, that's the only one that does it. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. I would like you guys to meet Zion Williamson.
Oh,
okay. Hold on.
I don't like
didn't
this
finish
game.
his
Already?
I'm not signing injured players.
Wow.
I don't know.
Like
that
the
video
thing
that
that has plagued this team for the last couple years is injuries to players. I want somebody who plays.
Let me hear him out. Let me hear him out.
I would like you-
JFig hasn't popped a balloon yet. Seems like we got
Yeah.
to still keep hearing him out.
I'm actually terrified right now. One thing I don't like is balloon popping.
Listen, you got to be part of the game, Jennifer.
I am.
Okay, well,
I'm so in.
a
Why
little
you
bit
all of a
more.
sudden sound like Robbie.
What, he's getting balloons?
No, he's all skittish.
All right.
I'm in.
All right, let's hear what he has to say.
The 6'6" NBA sensation with a heart of gold and a slam dunk smile. When he's not dominating on the court, he loves to try new foods and spend time with his loved ones. The Louisiana large man is looking for someone who can keep up with his high-flying personality.
Wow.
What
and
kind of man was it?
appreciate his sweet tooth. He is a Louisiana large man with a high-flying personality and a sweet tooth. Pros, insanely athletic. Cons, victim of the astron.
He does have fall victim to that. Didn't he just have a stalker?
Yes, he did.
What was that? The girl that tattooed her face?
No, that wasn't real.
Okay,
Yeah, it wasn't real.
Right.
Another pro.
The stalker, real.
He could potentially add more rebounding and presence in the paint. Con, he may not play ever. Literally ever.
Ever?
He may not play.
Ever?
He played like 70 games a year ago.
Ever?
Yes.
But he did miss the playoffs.
Did miss
That's
the playoffs.
the most games he's played in 3 years put together.
Jennifer, you got to pop if you feel like you don't want Zion. You can't be scared of popping it. You got to be a grown up.
You know, we talked about the balloon game for about a week and a half. You should have mentioned you were.
You should have mentioned you were terrified of this.
I did, and you guys thought it was weird.
It is weird. So pop the balloon if you don't want Zion.
Still weird.
I'm gonna keep it.
Oh,
Are you
okay.
really?
Wow.
Wait a minute.
Seems like Zion goes through.
Wait a minute. Let me get this
Zion
straight.
advances.
I was convinced.
They
when you
are
said large.
grown ass men who are intimidated by this woman,
What?
Oh,
Jennifer,
yeah.
and yet she's terrified of popping a balloon.
If it was a bird, she'd stab it.
That's not
It
true.
just seemed
Okay?
like- so you won't
That's so
pop a
messed
balloon,
up.
but you choke a
I
bird
what?
out. Come on.
All right, let's move on to free agent number 2 there, Frog
Free
Barker.
agent number 2 behind.
Grab a new red
door
balloon
number
there,
2.
Leroy.
Yeah, pick it on up. Pick it on up.
All right.
All right, let's introduce candidate number 2.
Looking for Durant for the lead. Not over. With 1.6.
That is
Wow.
right. That is right indeed. You heard it correctly. That is none other than Kevin Durant.
Wow.
That's right. Charming and talented NBA superstar with a heart of gold. This Olympic gold medalist and NBA champion is looking for someone who can keep up with his adventurous spirit and multiple personalities. Pro, one of the best basketball players of all time.
True.
Con, a little long in the tooth.
He is a little long in the tooth.
Little long in the tooth.
Little long in the tooth.
Pro, cost efficient. Doesn't even get his hair cut during the season. Con, doesn't get his hair cut during the season.
He is a grumpy old man.
Yes.
But that being said, Spo and the Heat would love him because he all about basketball.
Mutual interest reportedly from Shams saying yesterday.
That's another
Mutual interest.
Look at that.
All right.
I'm good with that.
All
You're good
balloons-
with Kevin Durant.
all balloons
Because
there.
it's going to be understood. It's only going to be a year or two.
Okay.
Understood.
Jennifer? Kevin Durant?
Balloon is still.
All right.
Balloon's still there.
Kevin Durant seems to go through.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about number 3, Frog Barker?
Behind door number 3.
You gotta have your by the way, you gotta have your balloon on camera, dude. Like, can you be a showman and a grown up?
I put it on camera.
Be a
No, it's not.
showman.
Like, I put it on camera when it's 5 feet off camera.
No, when I popped
grabs it.
Yeah, okay.
Also, can you zoom out from your camera a little bit?
Now you have too many requests.
Yeah,
No.
like what the hell?
All right.
Says
well,
somebody who's scared of the damn balloon
said-
is telling
you
me.
better be able to do the bit.
I will. Just, I'll
Don't make me
scream.
get Matt Rife in here.
Whoa. Contestant number.
I just gotta anger her a little bit.
Yeah, that was good.
All right.
Another one.
Wow.
Give us number 3, Frog Barker.
Let's open up door number 3.
Shot clock's at 5. The greatest shot by LaMelo Ball! Can you believe it? Say less.
Wow.
LaMelo Ball. Oh, whoa. Oh, my 3 pops.
Not a real basketball player.
He's hurt.
What a real
He's hurt
basketball
more
player.
than than Zion.
He's a Ferris wheel in basketball
Wow.
shoes. He doesn't get to play. He doesn't play real basketball.
Ferris wheel in
He
basketball.
is.
That's a great analysis.
He is. It's
That's
like,
good.
and now LaMelo Ball.
He'll just shoot it.
Shoot behind my head.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm out on LaMelo Ball. See you next one.
Yeah, it seems like all three of you guys were out on him very quickly. That was our first elimination. I
Yep.
want you guys to know that.
Wow.
I eliminated somebody.
Yeah, but
Completely.
like, he said
Unanimous
three.
elimination.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
unanimous elimination. Let's move on to door number 4.
And you could see Embiid was in discomfort immediately. And that's so painful.
Well, let me just make clear. Who are you bringing up here?
You can notice that this isn't a highlight of any sort of activity of him dunking. This is him getting.
And you could see Embiid was in discomfort immediately. And that's so painful.
Joel Embiid. Okay. Pop out. Pop.
You know how tall Joel Embiid is?
7
5'10".
Why's that?
Because he's always sitting.
Nah. Still pretty tall.
He's
for
my
sitting.
height. He's my height.
Well, sitting down.
She's not 5'10".
You're
But-
not 5. Yeah, like really, Jennifer?
Pros.
5'10".
He could be the solidifying center that we've always
Solidified.
looked for.
You have to play.
Cons,
Solidifying.
He's not going to be playing a lot.
Did we not all? Were we not clear by 3 popped balloons?
No.
And you're still going with
Next.
Next.
You guys didn't even
Next.
consider it.
Next.
Next.
All right, let us move on to
The room is very hot
door
right now.
number
All
4.
right. Door number 5.
5 is what I meant.
Giannis offensive board. Volleyball. And the throwdown.
Now you.
That is Giannis Antetokounmpo behind door number 5. I see. Okay. I see. No,
I'm not
Lecherous.
popping that.
no balloons have been popped.
You don't pop on Giannis. Not only does he play,
Yeah.
but he's dominant.
But like
Well,
what?
this is Giannis Antetokounmpo. He is a Greek freak and 2-time NBA MVP with a heart of gold, as they all normally
You don't have to
do.
worry. You won't have to worry about him.
Let him finish his list.
Dominant force on the court and is looking for someone who can keep up with his high energy personality, love for family and passion, and most importantly, horny.
What?
That is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
He is horny.
Pros,
He'll fit right in.
one of the best athletes of this generation. Cons, really horny. And he's only been in Milwaukee. Imagine when he comes to Miami.
Well, that is true. Although he seems to only be horny for Mrs. Greek Freak,
Yeah, which is good. That's a good thing.
which is nice.
As
It
he
is.
should. As he should.
But I will say, this might be his third first round exit in 4 years. You know, I mean, like, let's be real about that. And
They
he
already fired. They already fired the coach. No, they ain't fired the coach.
No.
That was
That's
Who knows
they
if-
fired. They did fire his coach, but then his other his
Yeah.
coach just got fired again. Now he has Doc Rivers. You got anything to say about this free agent, Doc? You worried about losing him?
look. In all the years I've been in this business, it is what it is. I'm doing everything I can to get guys, ready for the games. We got guys who aren't healthy. It takes time for these guys to learn how to work together. But it is what it is.
That is Red Balloon. We'll continue on. We have more free agents to get to later on in the program. Well done, Frog Barker.
Yeah, we did it, guys. She's so scared of
Really?
balloons.
What is it?
I don't like the sound.
WQAM.
The whole world. Is that the only thing I do know is what isn't that from Idlewild?
Yes, it was.
Which wasn't a bad movie.
Nope. Pretty good.
Because he really that's when you realize he could really play the piano.
Froggy.
Yes, sir.
Ready to mix it on up, dude?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Didn't get this.
Whoa.
Yes,
Ready?
I am so totally ready to mix it on up, dude.
He wasn't ready to mix it up.
I was not
He
ready.
was definitely not ready to mix it up.
Yeah, but watch this, dude. Rabbit out of my hat. If anyone's to blame, it's the sled with this topical. I mean, come on.
What is he doing?
He needs me to put a Jalen Ramsey cut inside the topical, but then now Tua's talking over the cut.
Jalen Ramsey.
I know. Remember that guy? Remember him?
He wants out.
Good times.
He wants out. He's out of here. Get out of here. Chris Grier is going to speak to the media, I think, in about 10 minutes.
Great.
I don't know where we're at with like it being
What is he gonna
broadcasted
say?
anywhere.
Like, what do you, out of curiosity, what do you want to hear? Because I think it's unfair to expect to hear too much.
Do you know what, to be honest, I would like to hear? Or not that I want to hear, but I would appreciate, be honest, Posh, if they were to hear say like, hey, we had to really assess where we are as a franchise, and that doesn't line up necessarily with some of the big moves that we made. So we may be, going in a different direction with some things.
I could see that.
If he's doing justification or if he's trying to do poker face, I'm not here for
Then,
that because
right.
it's so obvious what's going on right
Right.
now.
I mean, even if he were to say, look, we took big porn hacks at this, it didn't work. So now we have to reassess where we are and make decisions accordingly. I'd be happy. That sounds good. That means you're taking responsibility and you acknowledging what you have to do to move forward.
And it doesn't really change the draft for me because, like, I still don't think the Dolphins should necessarily even reach for a cornerback because I still think the most important thing for them is
Interior lineman.
Go get some fat guys.
But again, is it the thinking in general of how he does things that's the problem, or just the decisions that he made in those given moments? Because he is the only GM that or coach, the two of them, that I've ever heard that don't build from inside out. So how do we,
So what do you got in the mixed bag here, Marcos?
This show has been getting too soft.
What?
We need to toughen it up.
Oof.
That means it's time to hear from Mario Cristobal.
Yeah.
Tough. We talked about the Tennessee quarterback whose last name shall remain nameless because we don't know if it's an I, it's an L, or whatever the case it may be.
Liama.
God bless you. Now,
Liava.
We're doing it again.
Liava.
Is that
Leroy, you literally said something a minute ago that was wrong.
Yeah.
what? What did I say was wrong?
Marcos?
You know what you said.
No.
What did he say?
Mario Cristobal says, look, if you want to hold out, you can get out of here, dude.
I think you stay real and you stay true to the program. And you make the decisions that are best for the program. Again, we mentioned it the other day. I told you, everybody's in the portal, and the portal is always open. Okay, you don't want to believe me. It's always open, and everybody's in it. So it all depends on what you're willing to accept, where you're going to draw the line in your program. And you got to realize something. Once you allow that to happen and you agree to it, we'll prepare for a line of 80 guys doing the same thing. So we're not going to do that at Miami. And I say that without any hesitation. If anyone's thinking that, and they could be the best player in the world, if they want to play holdout, they might as well play get out. We don't want to do that. And we don't want Miami to become that. Too many guys have sweated, bled, have laid on the line on that field to ever become that kind of a program. So I hope that answers the question.
Tough. He got blamed today, by the way. Ryan Clark went on Jet Up today, and he said that this Iam Liava, this is Mario Cristobal's fault because he paid Carson Beck too much money.
I mean, Mario Cristobal didn't pay him the money, but
see, and that's the crazy thing about this NIL.
Mm-hmm.
The university has nothing to do with it simply because then it would be salary and it'd be a contract. So
it's also not like it's a stupid premonition because like whoever paid him for the Canes to come down here, Carson Beck, one, like his credentials are his credentials. And second of all, what is that one thing? Look, if you didn't get a better deal with your school and you agreed to that deal and they give a deal to somebody else, welcome to free agency, my dude. Like that's how it works. If you're the wide receiver who gets paid the year beforehand, Jamar Chase is going to get paid more than you. Like, it's going to happen literally all the time in sports. Is usually the next year, someone's going to get paid a lot more money, even if you think you're better than them a little bit.
I would say they wanted a quarterback, and they went out and got the best available one at that time. Not necessarily the best quarterback, but I would say, like, I don't know what to expect. I really don't, because they didn't even hesitate. Georgia didn't hesitate. Okay, see you.
They probably got something on the bench,
I guess.
And we know what we had on the bench. That's why we didn't hesitate. I am, however, looking at the Tennessee quarterback like, oh, man, I wish we could have waited a little bit. Maybe we could have got this guy. But we'll see.
I guess. I mean, people are saying though, like it's not even like it's not like you're getting. I know they made the playoff last year, but first of all, a lot more teams made the playoffs, and a lot of people are saying like, yeah, he's not like the greatest thing since sliced bread. He wasn't great in the elite games, so
right.
I don't know. I think that's where you probably now if this was a Cam Ward situation, and Cam Ward wanted more money if he was coming back for next year, yeah, there are going to be times where I'm sure coaches are going to be left with the conundrum. But welcome to pro sports, everybody. It's not. It's we play the Blender Bowl, we play the Lawnmower Bowl. Like it's all a commercial. So like let's stop clutching our pearls about this stuff. You guys were doing it in the shadows anyway.
Yeah, true.
Now it's just all out for everybody. Yeah, it's a little bit more of a Wild West, but is it more of a Wild West than it was happening in secret and we were acting like it was cheating?
I'll tell you one thing: the market is the market.
Yep. Oof.
I don't know. This has a
feels like
just say this? I'm gonna say this, and I hope it's not true.
Yep.
This has the makings of a Daniel Jones situation.
Oof.
Just overpaying for a guy that might not be. I don't know this.
But what was their other option? Their other option is freshman and Emory Williams.
Hurt.
Who?
Beck.
Yeah, but I'm saying for the Kane situation, their other QB
right.
choices are
their other two.
You either
choices
going a true
good.
freshman, which I don't feel like anybody goes to them anymore.
Nope.
And Emory Williams, who's coming off of an injury, and also like, yeah, he's a worker. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Now showed guts. Hey, show guts. Tough.
Guts. No, listen.
Tough.
Guts don't win. Talent wins.
Tough.
I'd rather people tell me I'm good than I'm tough.
What else you got?
Unfortunately,
we don't need Michael Chandler at quarterback.
Right, exactly.
What else you got in the mixed bag, Marcos?
We got to hear from Mock Rivers last segment for a little bit. Here's a little bit more from him on the status of Damian Lillard.
I'm not sure, honestly. I know I'm assuming he has another test early this week, midweek, but honestly, I don't know how I know it's going well. It's progressing well, but I honestly don't know from there where it goes.
Well, it is official. He is going to miss the start of the playoffs, according to Shams Charania today. And I don't think Damian Lillard's coming back. I don't
like ever, or
no, this year. Like usually when you do this, is like it takes 6 months
for sure.
Then why do they drag us on?
I think I don't know, because I mean, like, look, the Chris Bosh thing was 10 years ago. Maybe there is better medicine technology, how they monitor it. I'm not sure.
Not necessarily.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't tell you for sure, JFig. I'm just telling you, like, they're not ruling him out. So that's a Dame thing. I'm sure Dame is looking for every means and measure to get it done, but
It's a very dangerous game to play.
it is. It is. No doubt about that.
If it's taken everybody before now 6 months, then why can't we make the assumption that he's done?
I think you can. He may just not. He may be looking for
I
9
thought
opinions.
he was done for the season at least.
Right.
I think it was different. Like the Wemby thing when it happened, it was obviously like, hey, they're not going anywhere this year anyway. Let's take care of his health. The
Right.
Bucks obviously have a lot to play for, and Damian Lillard, I think he doesn't want to be out on the playoffs. So I think you're probably right. He is, but he's probably seeing 9 different doctors. Chris Bosh did this too, by the way.
Right.
When this happened, like Chris Bosh was looking for 9 different. He's looking for anybody to tell him yes. It doesn't even mean the team will say yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta wait on that. But he's going to miss the start of the playoffs according to Shams today, at least. So that's that. Take a break. Final hour of the show coming on up. Chris Grier expected to speak to the media this hour. We'll follow that along on Twitter and see what he has to say. Answer for your crimes. Back after this.
No, because sometimes you're like, oh, you guys could have talked.
I just said, give me a second.
I know, but sometimes you're like, oh, you guys could have talked while I was doing my thing.
All right.
Hey, what movie is this from?
Iron Man. No, was that close?
Captain Marvel.
Oh, yeah. Who couldn't remember that this popular song, Nirvana, that's been around for 50 years, was in that one movie?
That's not the first time I've heard the song. I knew who it was.
Not a good movie. Not a good
Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
Nah.
I find myself enjoying all of the Marvel movies except for Blue Beetle.
I liked Blue Beetle.
Oh,
really?
I did. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was fun.
And I wasn't
that
too
was good.
I didn't too good about the what is it, Black
Adam.
Black Adam.
Didn't see that.
That's The Rock.
Yeah,
I didn't see that either.
Yeah. You
I
don't
gotta
think
tell you, The Rock, bit of a
He-
slump.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Bit of a slump.
For sure.
Really?
That's why he had to go back to wrestling.
True.
Because he had no, but they pay him up front.
Who?
Them for those movies.
Jumanji was good though.
I know, but it's like,
Jumanji was good.
but eventually,
Wait. Not because of The Rock.
The girl?
Kevin
Because
Hart.
of Jack Black.
Jack Black.
You know, the girl,
Hmm?
one of the girls was the sister in Guardians of the Galaxy. The one, the blue
I don't
one.
know what you're talking about.
The blue, you know.
Oh yeah. The robot looking
The
one.
robot one. She was
Karen
the,
Gillan.
she was the girl in Jumanji.
Talk
Yes.
to the microphone, dude. You don't have to talk to the. It doesn't help us you talking to the window.
Huh?
Talking to the microphone doesn't help you talking to the. He first of all, he doesn't hear you better that way. He hears you better talking into this.
But I appreciate you looking at me.
It's soundproof. You talking to him literally does nothing, and he's on camera. You can see his face right there.
It's more of a respect
Don't get
factor.
mad at me. I've like we've talked about this many a times. It's like you freelancing routes.
Okay, you're lashing out.
You're lashing out. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, choose from over
Nebula.
500 new Kia models and inventory at the Sportage, Sorrento, and Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia.
Why are you so mean?
Why is your mic off? Oh, because you're eating chips while we're on the air. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Wow. After we heard crunch, crunch, crunch at the beginning of the segment.
You have the radio etiquette of a warthog.
Wow. Hakuna Matata.
Why are we children?
Just no chance to do radio today, right?
No, apparently not.
Wait, you yelled at him for not giving you.
I asked for 3 seconds to cut a soundbite, and he's
started-
like, me, come back to Tobin and Leroy. You couldn't just let the Nirvana play. Why? Because you were going to get a call from Galen. Why is Nirvana playing so long? And then you're like, no, Frog Boy. Actually, it was Blue Beetle on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Solid.
I listened when you said wait.
I know you did.
Thank you.
But him, he's like, he got all nervous. All right.
It was 33 seconds.
Yeah, and you couldn't wait 40, apparently.
Oh, somebody got mad. Really, Leroy? The only Hispanic hero we have? Yeah, but guess what?
Wait, who is
His
it?
name is Black Adam.
No. Black Adam is
Black Adam's the Rock.
black guy.
Who's the Blue Beetle
Blue
is
Beetle.
the
Blue Beetle is Hispanic?
I like Blue Beetle.
I never
Yes.
saw
I
it.
did enjoy Blue Beetle. I
Blue
watched
Beetle
it.
is Hispanic, yes.
All right, so let's get to our headlines.
Yeah.
Did I do the headlines, Lana? You guys got me all
you
flummoxed.
didn't, you
No.
Brought to you by Doral Kia. At Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia models and inventory at the Sportage, Sorrento, and Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia. Chris Grier is addressing the media, but he started off his press conference, no questions,
Okay.
addressing Jalen Ramsey.
First,
Here
good
was-
afternoon, but wanted to address obviously the news of the day that people will be curious about with regarding Jalen Ramsey. So really, after a couple of weeks of discussions between ourselves internally and Jalen and his representation, we decided that it was probably in the best interest for all parties to move forward. So I will say these decisions aren't done quickly, and they're not taken lightly because we spent a lot of time this offseason working through this, talking through things. At the end of the day, Jalen did not ask for a trade. So we went through the process and just felt that after numerous conversations and then talking last week with Jalen and his agent, that it was best to move forward and it was best interest of the Miami Dolphins and for Jalen Ramsey. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
Do you expect to trade him before the draft for a draft pick and other assets?
I don't know. Trades come together at all different times. You've seen from before the draft, day of the draft, during the draft. Like I think A.J. Brown was during the draft. It happened. When it happens, it'll happen. And if it doesn't, we'll deal with it then.
All right. There you go. A little bit of that's how he started his presser today.
So it wasn't Jalen Ramsey.
He's saying Jalen Ramsey did not request a trade.
Okay.
They had talks about Jalen Ramsey with his representation.
Mm-hmm.
They've decided to move on. That's what he says. Mm-hmm. That's what he says, Bam. But that's where we're at right now.
Sounds like you were right about the money thing. Oh.
Come on.
No, why? He had nothing to do with it. They said he didn't.
He said he had nothing to do with it. He said he had nothing to do with it.
So you don't believe him?
Give a point to Len.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have one of those.
It's actually funny.
Really?
He texted us, why was the Nirvana point playing so long?
Point.
Give him a point, you rascals.
Why did you put that into the ether? You knew that was coming.
He also says that he is not trading Tyreek Hill, but would consider it for 2 first-round picks.
Which means the trade demands have started.
How about that?
Also, I wasn't the one typing.
No, that was.
that
I think that was Barry Jackson.
That's funny.
FYI.
He said on the departure of Calais Campbell, we talked to his agent a couple times, made him an offer, but he ultimately decided he wanted to go play for the team that drafted him.
Or you tried to lowball him.
Yeah, exactly. 100% Leroy.
Because last year, when he came here, this was home.
He said from Joe Shad, we can't hold Cam Smith's hand anymore waiting for him.
Oh, you're not going to hold his hand. He's going to be grabbing with that hand as people run by. That's why, look, I'm a firm believer in this. You can develop young talent, but the most important thing is to find out yay or nay. This is in every sport. If you let this linger, you're holding up a spot and maybe holding up a career that doesn't work on your team. So you need to find out as soon as possible, because the penalty for finding out about Cam Smith right now is that he hasn't played, and now if he has a good year, it's time to get paid, and you only got 1 year out of it.
I feel bad for Anthony Weaver, honestly. Out of anybody I feel bad for Weaver, because I felt like he did a decent job last year already with a mishmash unit,
right?
And now they're giving him even less as of right now. I don't know what the draft's going to turn into, obviously, or anything, but I'm just saying, as of right now, looks like he's got his work cut out for him.
Realistically, stop trying to act like every young player is going to come in here and play and be a contributor. When it happens, you are lucky. It's not a norm.
Barry Jackson tweets out, Stephen Ross did not tell Chris Grier to spend less. Quote, he wants badly for the Dolphins to win in a salary cap era. You can't keep high-priced players. He said this is not a rebuild. They expect to win this year. Quote, we're looking to sign good players at prices we felt comfortable paying. Still looking at undrafted free.
Okay, but when you've overpaid
free agents,
when you've overpaid and paid all your players top dollar, why would anybody come to you for cheap?
Yeah.
When they know, hey, you want to make that money? Call up Chris Grier. Call up the Dolphins. The only guys you've paid everybody in the National Football League except the guys you drafted.
Dave Ferranos tweets out that Chris Grier says Tyreek Hill has been in the building working with new wide receivers coach Robert Prince about every other day in the early offseason. He has shown that he wants to be in Miami. When asked about the Miami Dolphins having issues in-house or play or with culture, he says, quote, wildly inaccurate. Things happen with players. You see it around the league. You see moves like this happen, this and that happen. They happen for various reasons. There's no internal people trying to get out of here.
Okay. If I may. We don't know that. You're not in that locker room. You're in the peripheries of the locker room. But, I mean, some things have to change. Will we admit that? Some things have to change as far as how we do things, how we go about things, from the head coach to the players to whatever, right? And that's a fact. If you want to start winning and doing things and playing winning football, sometimes your attitude has to change. Sometimes the play calling has to change. Sometimes the players have to change.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to evaluate it at the end of every year and make the necessary adjustments. For example, Man Campbell took over Detroit. First thing he said, we're going to be tougher.
Tough.
We're going to be physical.
Yeah, tough.
That's the starting point.
I remember when the Dolphins kicked his ass, though? That wasn't that long ago.
What? Kicked whose ass?
Man Campbell's. 2 years ago. Kicked his ass. Been doing NFC
Okay,
Championship.
who's winning now?
Oh, Penei Sewell would floss to her. Well, I guess he wouldn't fight each other. He would take Chop Robinson, spank him over his knee. I love you, Chop, but Penei Sewell, scary.
The other reason why they got really good really fast, you ready? Because they had like 4th and 5th rounders that end up being straight ballers.
Mm-hmm.
That also helps.
Chris Grier says Patrick Paul will be our starter at left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
We don't really care about that. We want to know, is he going to be any good?
Oof. I hope so. He better be.
I don't know. See, if I was the Dolphins, this is the honest truth. If I was the Dolphins, I would put Patrick Paul at left guard. For any other reason, for this only reason, so he could play next to Teron Armstead and get an idea of the action, the energy, the physicality of how things go.
Yep.
Right? Instead of his first time playing being taken over for Teron Armstead. So, yeah, that's just me. You can't put yourself in this situation year after year after year, meaning that you have guys who you're not playing, and then they play in their 3rd or 4th year, and now you got to pay them a boatload of money. You haven't gotten anything out of them. Play them, coach them up, figure it out. If you get to that 3rd or 4th year and he have that big year and you have questions, then fine. But we have no idea what Cam Smith's going to be. We have no idea what Patrick Paul's going to be. And now they're coming up on, this is Patrick Paul's 2nd year. This is Cam Smith's, what, third year or 4th year?
It's going to be his 3rd year.
3rd year. So guess what that means? If he has any ounce of success, now you got to pay him.
But if you say we can't hold his hand anymore, that doesn't sound like you have any faith in him.
Of course not. But if he balls out, that means either you're going to let another guy walk or you're going to end up paying him a boatload of money and have gotten nothing out of him. I know the money is for projected for what you think that guy's going to do in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have any cheap labor on your team, you're never going to be successful. Everybody on your team can have max money. And that's where, look, all your productive players. Who's the cheap productive player on the Dolphins? Who's the guy that got at a steal and
Achan?
No!
All right.
Achan was pretty late.
I mean, but he's been playing and he's getting ready to be up.
True.
Don't use a
That's
running
going to
back.
cost us some money.
You know who's the cheapest, the most valuable asset they have? Sealer.
Who wants an extension?
Right. And deserves it.
One. And deserves one, by the way.
So think about that. Who's the cheap labor on your team? Just Phillips is in his last year.
Kohu?
Cater Kohu.
I mean, like they're all rookies, like,
right?
Storm Duck, Malik Washington.
But they haven't played, so it's not even up for discussion of whether to extend them or play them or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So think about when you talk about all these other teams. Look at the Eagles. White man can't jump balled out.
Hunter says this makes me miss the segments about Rob Nen.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
You have to have a mix of cheap labor versus your core guys.
We'll take a break here on the show. When we come back, we'll dive more into what Chris Grier is saying as the tweets are flying in. Back after this.
WQAM.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy. Streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, Miami 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Get to.
Come on.
No. I'm letting you finish.
Post Malone.
So for Miami Heat practice, get to a little 15 minutes of heat here for you. Brought to you by Hollywood Kia. Hollywood Kia, the #1 Kia dealer in all of Florida. Get the star treatment. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online at hollywoodkia.com. Miami Heat practiced today, Leroy, as they get ready for the play-in game. Apparently, everybody did some work today at practice, including Pelle Larsson and Nikola Jovic. Shout out to Tommy Tag for the update. But it does seem like Andrew Wiggins was good to go. And the only person who's not there is Kevin Love, who is not with the team for personal reasons.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably best. That's probably
Why?
best. Old Twitter fingers over there just posted memes all season.
I would say this.
This is more days than me.
Be careful. One of the reasons why I never, ever, ever, ever say anything about personal reasons is you don't know what those personal reasons are.
Exactly.
I hope everything's okay with him. With
Be
that being
careful.
said, maybe he should retire if he's so busy.
You want to?
Be careful. You don't know what the issue is.
The Heat will be back.
Didn't he just have a new kid?
I wouldn't say that's like not for nothing. So
Right.
Yeah, it's probably not for nothing. You're right. I apologize.
Okay.
damage is done though. Like you already said it.
Well, then you know what, dude?
Like,
You need more time off the court, then, buddy. Take it.
The Heat will be back in action tomorrow. 7:30 is the tip-off from the United Center. 6:15 preheat with Solana and Tommy Tig. Tonight, we have the 7-8 play-in games, and that includes, of course, Grizzlies and Warriors, which we are going to have a very keen eye on tonight, in addition to who the Heat will play on Friday, of course, after they beat the Bulls' ass. So there's that. So that is your 15 seconds of Heat. Chris Grier. Speaking of the media right now, and we get our heat. We do plenty of heat here, guys, and we've done plenty of heat today. So if you missed any heat, go get the podcast, Tobin and Leroy, on the Odyssey app. But he is speaking to the media as we speak. You want a gem of a you want a good quote? You want a good quote, Leroy? You want a good quote, Leroy? You want a good
It's
quote?
gonna bother Leroy for sure.
I want one.
JFig, you want a good quote?
I do.
Marcos, you want a good quote?
Oh, I need one.
I'll give you guys a good quote, but first I got to get a call. 305-567-0560.
Jeez.
305-567-0560. If you guys want a great quote from Chris Grier. Just if you guys want it, I got it for you. It's right here in my pocket.
Leroy Jenkins.
Nope. There's no. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. Come on. Let me tell you. But first I need to call it. 305-567-0560.
Spoiling the bit. That's
No. Don't spoil the bit. 305. I swear I'll give you the quote, but first I just need to make sure everybody wants to hear the quote. So I need a caller. 305-567-0560 if you want to hear the quote, because it's a doozy.
His Twitter fingers are pretty slow.
It is a doozy. And I was like, excuse me?
I'm actually interested to see if Leroy's going to be able to
Decipher it?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Ready? I got a caller. Oh, wait. Hey, RVA Richie.
Is it a golden quote?
It's not an Al Golden quote, no. But it's a doozy. It's a doozy. You want to hear it?
Let's go. Let's hear it, Toast.
The golden goal.
This is from Joe Shad's Twitter. Chris Grier says,
No.
hold on, Leroy's grabbing a balloon, Rucci.
Chris balloon.
Chris Grier says, maybe sometimes in the draft process, I've deferred too much.
What?
See you, Richie.
What?
He's deferred too much.
Deferred too much.
To who? I was going to say to who?
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know, dude. I don't know, and I don't know. I've deferred too much.
We waited for this.
Hey, I got a question.
No.
Oh, God.
I got a question. Didn't the Dolphins draft Cam Smith?
Yeah.
Who was teammates with your son at South Carolina?
Oh, I didn't know that.
So who'd you defer to, dude? Riddle me that, Batman. I'd love to know.
throwing his son under the bus. Should have listened to my son this last draft.
Listen, he's a punk kid. he didn't know what he was talking about. I was pulling a Woody Johnson where he was listening to Madden ratings.
Yeah, exactly.
I deferred too much. Dude, are you kidding me? You want to tell you right now? I just want everybody to be clear.
Yeah.
You right now understand why this man has kept a job in that organization for 25 years. You now have insight. If you didn't know, now you know. We all knew, but in case you didn't know, now you know.
Pipe down, Biggie.
That has to be a very, very, very
no.
Call
clear
the Lord.
sign
Call
of
him.
affection.
No. You just
Nah.
quoted a direct line from Biggie. Did he not?
That's a quote. Yes.
It's a direct quote from Biggie.
You could have
Is
used.
that how you meant it?
You could have used.
Yes.
Notorious.
Oh, notorious. No, I'm telling you.
That's funny. No. He okay. You said if you don't know, now you know. And that's what Leroy was.
Right.
No.
That's
I see
Doing
what
it on
I
purpose.
see what you
What
mean.
is it,
there.
All right, just slide by
Yes,
it
yes.
again.
Juicy. It's the name of the song.
Oh, you have to ask, huh?
No.
And if you don't
Listen.
know,
Now you know.
Call
And
the
then-
Lord.
What do you think of that, Leroy? I mean, what do you think of that?
he called him Biggie.
Perhaps I've deferred too much.
Here's
Now
what-
he wants more control?
Here's what I would say. There comes a time where, and we're all victims of this. You know how we all want to take responsibility and be a big man and whatever, but you kind of only take part of it? That's what he just did. All hell's breaking loose right now. And a lot of things need to be fixed. Right? Nobody wants to hear how the sausage is made. Right? We just want to talk to the guy representing the sausage. And I'm going to tell you right now, he pulled the Tobin right there.
What?
That is taking responsibility for what happened by blaming somebody else.
Oh, he does that.
That's what you do.
All the time. he
That's
does
what you do.
What?
So if you
That's
say,
not what I
wait.
No.
What is the
You did it
first
yesterday.
thing you did after the Masters?
Mountry Masters win.
See,
It's not, though, dude. It's not.
There you go. Exhibit A. Would you like to go? You do it all the time. Heat 5.
That was
Well, if
literally your
Jimmy would have got
first
hurt, they would have got
words
swept.
yesterday.
Right? No.
They didn't get swept. They lost in 6.
No.
Oh, you're talking about
It's
with
Just in general.
General.
But it's
Luis
terrible.
says, how is
No.
he a football man? I had to turn the press conference off. Vlad says, Leroy, don't let the intangibles get you upset. It's all good, baby.
See? Right. Wait. But
I was on alert for something else.
no. But I'm just saying. You can't, and especially you. Y'all can't get on me. I was just quoting.
No,
He
you
just
were
quoted
not.
Biggie.
You
What?
just so happened.
Marcos.
to
Yeah,
have
no,
that-
it was.
Perhaps I
Biggie.
was sensitive. Perhaps I was sensitive.
Yes.
No,
Who called?
I still don't take it back.
I just wanted to make sure
Who
you could.
called? Wait. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm taking one step deeper.
Who says Biggie? Like
Wait. What person who's in the 90s rap says Notorious B.I.G.?
Yeah.
You know who says that?
a lot.
Intangibles.
True.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, as an
Everybody else calls him Biggie.
in fairness, though, as an intangibles, the dismount on that line, very scared.
It went from a 10 to a, if you would have stuck that landing,
You don't know. Now you know.
Lynn would have
Someone saw you.
he would have said, guys, I'd rather you talk about 420. Hey,
Take a break. Final segment coming on up. Back after this.
Hey.
Back with you here, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Thought they could finish the hour without hobnobbing, eh, Marcos?
Nope, not this duo.
Nope. Couple hobnobbers, dude. That's exactly what hobnobbing is.
Hobnobbing is.
What were you talking about?
Huh?
What does he want?
What does he want?
Yeah.
He was like, I was telling about Lil Durk, and he was saying, hey, you should be nicer to me, you know, while I'm here. And I'm like, no, I'm going to be a jackass whether you're here or not.
He wants you to be nicer to him?
Yeah. No.
Where's he going?
Why?
I don't know. I just said no. I said no.
Imagine somebody going, hey, I want you to be nicer to me.
Who are you being mean to?
Solana, you'd love this.
Oh, okay. I did that in the hallway already.
Wow. Trevor just sent me something. Apparently, the brass of the Mavs are talking today about the Luka Doncic trade, but no cameras, only no recordings of what they're saying, which I find is unbelievably soft. But the CEO Rick Welts compared the Luka Doncic trade to his former team trading Monta Ellis for Andrew Bogut in 2012.
What? Are you crazy? That's why. Well, let me tell you something. That's why they don't want to record it.
Oh my!
They don't want to record it because somebody gonna say something stupid like that. Luka, he compared Luka Doncic
to Andrew Bogut.
Typical rat behavior.
Andrew Bogut. So that's how they look at Luka. They think Luka and Bogut are the same.
Solid piece for the Warriors champions.
Again, they think Luka and
samesies.
And when they traded Bogut, he was 30.
I don't remember.
Luka's 25. I know. And in the prime.
And they're the 3 seed. And you traded him because you said that the championship window is going to be more open with Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Understood you lost Kyrie Irving.
And then the first week he got hurt.
First half.
First half. So they're in the play-in tonight or tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 9-10s.
Oh, so they go. Oh, because
I guess they want to make it harder on them. I guess less rest is the thought process.
On the 9-10s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll be the 9-10s will be on Friday. The winners of the loser of this game goes to plays Friday of the winner of tomorrow.
Okay.
So tonight you got Hawks and Magic. Orlando's a 5.5-point favorite. And then
over the Magic? But is it injuries that killed
I'm sorry,
them?
the Magic are favorite. My bad. The Magic.
I was getting ready to say, wow.
I'm wrong. Sorry. Orlando's a 5.5-point favorite. No, they're a 5.5-point favorite. And then the Grizzlies Warriors tonight. Warriors are a 7.5-point favorite tonight. You spicy? They don't have Jalen Wells, though. They did lose Jalen Wells for the season. You see that nasty fall that he took? Broke his wrist, face, messed up.
Who?
Whoa.
Their rookie, their sensational rookie guard. They drafted in the second round, Jalen Wells. The Grizzlies lost him. So a lot of people are like, oh, what are they going to do to stop Steph?
Because you know Ja ain't playing no defense.
No, but you know what he is going to be doing?
Really?
That's letting his words.
I know what you want to happen here.
Hmm?
I just don't think that Ja is mature enough to win at that level yet.
Just got to win one game, baby. That's all I
I'm
need
just
from him.
I'm just telling you.
Just need to send the Warriors.
I'm just telling you. Even when I saw him play against the Heat, he may have had the game winner, but he does a lot of costly things.
He's been shooting it well, though. He's in a little bit of a heater right now.
Okay.
I know they don't beat good teams. I know that's like the thing on them is they're a little fugazi with that. They beat.
I mean, how good but wait a minute. How good is Golden State? They're in the same damn spot. Like, why are we sitting here calling one team in the play and good? They're all in the same spot with damn near the same record.
I'm going to tell you right now, Jaren Jackson Jr., all right, why don't you act like a defensive player of the year, all right? Because you had Draymond calling you out last game. And you two carnival barkers with your depoys that Bam Adebayo doesn't have. How about you get through a game without fouling out Jaren?
Oh, you want to talk about the 2 for 2?
Oh, he's king of 2 for 2.
Oh
And they're
my
always
goodness.
dumb fouls too.
Right. In the
for
first,
such a great defender.
and it's always the first 2 minutes of a game, and he can't play the whole first half.
Smith says, hope John Moran does a musket celebration today for the old.
How'd you even do that? You gotta like stuff the barrel or something.
Like, I don't know why you saying all these teams in the play-in, oh, we can't get by. They can't beat good teams. These aren't 4 good teams. They're in the play-in. 2 of them wouldn't even be in the playoffs if not for the specialty play-in thing. So, like, no.
Well, I think the Warriors are a decent team. I think they are a decent team. I mean, Steph's been incredible.
They're in the same spot. Regardless of how good Steph is, how good Jimmy's been, the record's the record. It's 7 versus 8.
But I tell you one thing, it's probably more juicy that they would have gotten Lakers first round. But the thing that's going to be interesting is like, man, the Warriors are tiny, and the 2 teams that they would match up with, Houston or OKC,
giant
are not.
Right.
So the Lakers have no size.
None.
They got no size. So
neither does the Golden State.
Exactly.
But the Lakers can get away with it because they're not going to be facing that early.
Man,
I'm telling you, no, it's ridiculous that we're sitting here saying one team can't beat the other team. The play-in is such that anything can happen simply because they're all kind of fighting for the same position, right? Like, I don't care who's playing. Golden State was the 7 or 8 seed?
They were the 7th, but only by a game. Because if they beat the Clippers, they would have been the 5. So,
okay,
it was a big game.
So why are we all of a sudden saying what the Grizzlies can't do, and we're sitting here watching? All they had to do was win a game.
I think because the Grizzlies at one point this year were the 2 seed, they've fallen all the way to the 8. Like, that's why.
Weren't they banged up though?
Not really. No, they were just kind of they just
fired their coach.
Like Ja was in and out because Ja's in and out. They fired Taylor Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
They seem like they got something. I mean, off that Ja winner, they won 3 in a row. But listen, hey, you just gotta go treat him like a pigeon, Ja. Let's go.
Pigeon squad assemble.
Grenades, baby.
Yeah.
I am all grindhouse tonight. Grit and grind and grizz and grenades.
The only way the Grizzlies can win is if they just play physical and push them around. And then you'll piss Draymond off and he'll kick somebody in the nuts. Right? That's the only, because Ja makes a lot of poor decisions at times. And Jaren Jackson's going to have 2 of the most ridiculous fouls within the first 5 minutes of the game. That being said, I don't necessarily think that the Warriors can run away with it. So we'll see.
Well, that's our show for everybody. We got a fun time today. We scared JFig with pop balloons.
Didn't realize.
Chris Grier said stupid stuff again. And we'll talk to you rascals tomorrow. He doesn't live life on Twitter, Tobin. He's one of the old. The old do like pureed food, though. Free dinners. The old love free meals. He'll be back. The old love attention. You know, the old love feeding duck. The old love the marrow. I mean, the old love to let a fart linger in church. The old love using the term up to snuff.
Midday Sports